Turtles.
I don't care.
What's up, fellas?
What's up, guys?
How
What are we doing?
How's it going?
Got a special guest today, Mike Wallace, college teammate of Randolph-Macon. Welcome to the show, big dog.
I appreciate it, guys. Thank you for the invite.
Yeah, man.
Wide receiver.
Yeah, just in case you guys were wondering, this is Mike Wallace, former wide receiver of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
He did bleach his skin.
Ravens.
Yep. I went through the Sammy Sosa.
Same guy.
You took the words out of my mouth. Took the words out of my mouth, Sammy Sosa.
Yeah.
We're gonna have Mike on to talk. He was college baseball teammates with our Huckleberry here, Brian. So we're gonna have him talk some baseball and everything a little bit later in the show. But we're gonna start off with that Raven game last night. How about another win, boys?
We talking about that Raven.
You got anything on the game last night?
Talking about that Raven.
Brooks, what were your thoughts on the game? Give it a fire away, man.
I mean, everything else everybody else saw probably. That game was never felt like the first two drives were the only two. It was like after that we had control of the game the rest of the way. It was done after that.
Yeah.
Everybody else is going to say it. Secondary need to see a little bit of improvement. It was good for most of the game, I will say, until the fourth quarter and the first three drives. But yeah, I think somebody sent that we're like the 29th best pass defense in the league, which is not great, obviously. So, but yeah, other than that, again, not fair having the Ravens have Lamar and Derrick Henry in the same backfield. I don't know how people let that happen.
I'm going to start positive with this one. Mark Andrews, love. I mean, he started finally getting into the offense. Didn't have to chip block as much, which is great. Derrick Henry, that's it.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. What else can you say?
Another Ronnie Stanley game.
I saw this stat today right before we went live. The Ravens are averaging 7.2 yards per play and 6.2 yards per carry. That's even better than the greatest show on turf, which is stunning. And I do not want to jinx them. I'm knocking on wood. That's incredible. So I really want, and the play action pass is without a doubt the best it's ever been since Jamal Lewis. So those are my takes, and that's the positive takes. Now there are some negatives, but you can't really bitch when you're 5-2 and you lost your first two games. And how the fuck did we lose to the Raiders?
Outlier. We always have one of those a year.
Yeah.
Giants last year. Remember that?
I think when you look back on the season later in the year, I think we're going to look back at that game as like, how the hell did that happen? That's going to be one of those results. It's going to be similar to that Patriots Bengals week one thing. I know, Mike, you're a Patriots fan. Do you remember that game?
Yes, sir.
What are your thoughts on what are your thoughts? What are the highlight of your season so far?
The highlight of my season was hopefully Drake May. I mean, I don't think it's gonna go that well, but I did want to comment on the Ravens. I do watch a lot of football. The Ravens, I had a thing yesterday. I told my dad, you should start Mark Andrews because he had him on the bench. And I was like, he's going to have a big day. I mean, it hasn't happened this year yet, but he finally had his day. And you had the Derrick Henry aspect, obviously Lamar, amazing. Now you add in a Mark Andrews that came to play like what we're used to watching. I think you guys are going to have a really good shot to take it down this year.
It's something I want to throw out to the group is, and I don't know, does Keaton Mitchell come back this year?
Yeah.
No.
They already said he is.
Okay.
Yes.
Because that's a dangerous,
he's been
dangerous
practicing.
duo.
He tweeted that he got back to 22 miles an hour running in practice recently. I think he's still working on like getting in and out of cuts and that kind of stuff. I don't think they want to push him back because the offense has been so good regardless. But I think he will be a weapon for us down the stretch.
Yes.
And honestly, the way Justice Hill is Yeah, the way Justice Hill is playing as the third down back, I mean, it's been awesome. I heard last night there was a crazy stat that I think Justice Hill is outsnapping Derrick Henry under 2 minutes, like 70-5 or something like that. It's right. It's something around there, which I thought was interesting, but I guess makes sense based on the criteria of the situations.
P-Town just said that he's in his 21-day window to be activated, which is good. I didn't know that, so that's good knowledge.
Thank you, P-Town.
Yeah. And also, Justice Hill is a much better blocker than Keaton Mitchell. I mean, again, Keaton Mitchell hasn't played a full season yet, so very young. But yeah, I mean, that's one of the other reasons why he stays in the lineup. Not only just because he's been performing like crazy this year. So yeah, it's that's been such a luxury having Justice Hill in the backfield and such an unsung hero. Like I feel like nobody else in the league knows about him.
Yeah, without a doubt.
And the line had another great game last night.
O-line?
O-line.
I watched, so I watched the game at a bar last night, but this morning I saw on YouTube they put up a thing on YouTube of the first half of the Manning show, and it was Belichick and the Mannings talking, and they were talking about how much the offensive line has improved throughout the season and how well we're using them, getting them out, and getting them outside of the numbers and getting them on corners on screenplays for Flowers and Hill, and how well that's been working for us, especially the last few weeks. I think Monken is really starting to let loose, and I think he really understands the offense now. It just feels like every time we get the ball, we're going to drive down the field. It just feels like that every time.
Isn't it so weird? Our defense stinks right now, and our offense is amazing. It's the complete opposite of what Ravens football normally is. I never thought Arthur Millette coming back would be absolutely gorgeous. Like, I mean, that's Arthur Millette.
I'll say second. I'll say our secondary is not having a great. I mean, everything else seems like it's all right. And the other thing I wanted to bring up, I feel like this feels. I mean, we're beating that team in terms of yardage and stats and everything like that. Like 2019 Ravens, where I felt like we just were unstoppable as well, and we had the big letdown in the playoffs, the first round against Buffalo, I believe.
Buffalo Titans won too.
Yeah, and everybody.
No, it was the Titans. It was Derrick Henry.
Derrick Henry ran over
50 yards.
Yeah. It felt like we couldn't move the ball, but that whole year felt like nobody could stop us offensively, and I mean they couldn't running the ball really. But it feels like that again. In the whole storyline at the end of that season when we lost was that we peaked too early. Are we worried about that at all?
I don't think so. I like the artificial artificial is the wrong word. I like the adversity we faced. We were down 10 points again last night, and then we came back and we won the game. We had 34 unanswered points.
Were you worried?
I was worried after the first two drives. I was worried, but then we adjusted. And normally we're not a good adjusting team. Like we're not built. John Harbaugh's not Bill Belichick. He doesn't make in-house adjustments right away, but somehow we did yesterday, and that was awesome.
No, but yeah, Flowers to Zach or Dean Pease or whoever made that adjustment pretty quickly after the first couple drives, because the rest of the game they were pretty good, and again until the fourth quarter.
But Mike, you got anything? I know you probably watched the game, so you got anything on this one?
Yeah, I mean, I've kind of been saying it all year around my group of fantasy guys because we have a work league. I thought. Which no one else in the league thought Derrick Henry, they thought he's washed up. He's not going to be a big part of the system. And I think this year he has brought us all back to the Derrick Henry he was 3-4 years ago. And I think letting Lamar not have to use his legs as much, letting Derrick Henry do his thing. And what the Titans did in my mind was they would use him as the hoss down the field, and then they would kind of let quarterback do his little jump pass to a tight end and kind of wouldn't give Derrick Henry his recognition. I think that you guys are utilizing him correctly. I think that that's why I don't think it's just a flash in the pan. I think you guys are going to do very well as long as Derrick Henry keeps maintaining the rock like he is.
As long as the team stays healthy too, knock on wood.
Yeah.
Dustin, what do you got, man?
Just a couple stats I want to throw out at you. Derrick Henry has 873 rushing yards. That is over 200 more than the next closest guy, which is Jordan Mason of the San Francisco 49ers. who's been filling in admirably for Christian McCaffrey. Also, Lamar, 5th in the league in passing with 1,800 yards, and also 11th in the league in rushing with almost 460 yards. At this pace right now, at this current pace, Derrick Henry is on track to break Eric Dickerson's single season rushing record. Obviously, there's a long way to go. He still has to carry it for 125 yards a game, but long way to go for that. But as of right now, I mean, he's whooping ass. So, Mike, you had something?
Oh,
Mike,
yeah.
go ahead.
Sorry. Just that's what kind of what I want to reiterate. Like, so Lamar being at 400 plus yards already and seeming like he hasn't had to work that hard, to me is that makes me scared of the Ravens right now. Like, I would not want to be any team that has to go in and play the Ravens right now on my schedule. I don't care what we're doing, winning streak or not. I would not want to go in and play the Ravens right now.
Yeah, I mean, and because you have the workload off. And I mean, hell, Derrick Henry only rushed 15 times, and he had 169 yards. What's that, 11.2 yards a carry or something like that?
Yep.
I mean, you're not overworking him. And we use the passes to run as well with Justice Hill, and then when Keaton Mitchell comes back. I do want to skew negative. Sorry. Do we think Zach Orr is overwhelmed? Our defensive coordinator?
No, I think it's just kind of the defense's growing pains. Also, I think a little bit of it is game script dependent. I think our offense has been been so good. Really, we're putting up a ton of points, so we're forcing the defense to play a lot of pass coverage. Just because I think that's just the game that we're playing. I think if we played a lower scoring game, I think the defense could lock down a little bit. It just doesn't seem like the games we're going to be playing, because we're just putting up so many points. They're going to have to throw on us. And so far it's been good. Obviously Kyle Hamilton, we use him a lot towards the line of scrimmage, which doesn't help because he's one of our safeties. That doesn't help the back end defense, especially with Marcus Williams struggling, especially with our number one corner being a rookie. I think Marlon Humphrey, I talked a lot of shit about him in the last couple of years because I think he's a little bit washed up, but he was great last night. He had those 2 picks, and I think him going down with a knee could really hurt the defense. That's something that I'm a little bit worried about because Godwin was kind of cooking last night until he went down, by the way, which sucks. And Roquan might get fined for that, by the way.
I think that was precautionary, by the way, for Marlon having him sit out. Is what all signs are pointing towards. But yeah, back to Zach Orr. Do I think he was a little bit overwhelmed? I mean, maybe. He's a first year coordinator. He's a young guy. He's got a lot of the same people there, but I mean, they say it was his decision to bring in Dean Pease because he played for Dean Pease and he knows the defense as well. I'm going to guess it was probably Harbaugh saying, we're bringing in Dean Pease to help you out. But yeah, I mean, I think he's got the respect of the guys on the defense, and inevitably, like that always kind of happens if you're a former player, you do get a little bit upfront credibility to start with until you kind of work your way out of that. But I do think he was probably a little bit overwhelmed, or maybe he's not as good at making I guess in-game changes. But I mean, like I said yesterday, I got to give him his flowers because after those first 3 drives, and I say 3 because that last drive they went down the field on us until Humphrey had that pick. They were moving the ball pretty well on that one.
Yeah.
But after that, it was good until the end of the game when it felt like it was kind of starting to get into garbage time.
I hope it's not the case. I really hope it's not the case. But this move, bringing Dean Pease in, reminds me a lot of that Super Bowl year, knock on wood, when they brought in it was Cam Cameron was the offense coordinator. They brought in he became a head coach for the Colts.
Kubiak.
Jim Caldwell.
Caldwell.
This reminds me of that, like bringing a guy to basically, I hate to say baby because it's probably the wrong term, but it just reminds me a lot of that. And I hope I'm wrong because I love Zach Orr. I love him as a player, and he looks like he really enjoys the position. And John Harbaugh wouldn't put a guy in a position that he doesn't respect. So This just reminds me of that, though.
I think it's probably something to do with there's probably an aspect that he's not great at that they're bringing him in for, whether that because I think Orr is still calling the plays.
Mhm.
So it's not the play calling. It could be whatever the communications are. Like it could be anything really. But there has to be something there that he's struggling with a little bit and needs another either set of eyes or another perspective to help him out.
Without a doubt.
Which is fine. I mean, that's you don't know and you don't know what you don't know. So
yeah, but I feel like John Harbaugh would not put
Nice
a guy
analysis
in a
from Brooks
position. I feel like you don't know what you don't know. It is what it is.
Situation.
The title of my book. I don't think John Harbaugh would put a guy in a position to fail. So bringing in Dean Pease means that he gets a little bit of a boost. That's great, but I don't want to see Zach Orr get fired or anything like that because I really thought Anthony Weaver should have been the defense coordinator.
No.
Yeah, I mean that's why he or whoever is bringing in Dean Pease to help him out because I don't think he's going to let him get into a position to fail. So he's going to help him. That's his way of helping him out. I feel like so.
I tell you who you don't bring in, Matt Patricia. There you go, Mike.
Maybe for one play.
That was
And
you didn't have to.
Low blow.
low blow to the guy. Yeah, I know. It's tough being at the top for so long and then dropping to the bottom. I know it's tough.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, I know. I got to throw in something when I can.
It's true.
Here's something I do. Here's something I do love about the defense.
Unless you're good.
Something I do love about the defense, and Brooks has been harking on this for a couple weeks now. We don't give up big running plays. We're really good at containing the rushing attacks of pretty much every team we played this year. Not that we played that many elite rushing attacks, but it's going to be awesome when you get into January and February and you feel like you can get a stop on those short downs when it's 3rd and 3. And we've had defenses in the past where I was just like, they're going to get this 3 yards. They're going to pound it up the middle. And I feel very confident with this defensive front, especially with the guys in the middle, Michael Pearson, Nnamdi Madubuike now. It just feels like we're going to be able to stop those runs when we really need to, when we get into situations in January and February when you really need to make those plays. Hopefully February. We're looking forward. But
Kyle Hamilton has to be a stud on defense for the rest of us, for the team for the rest of the year. I mean, he's probably the best defensive player other than Roquan.
Yeah, Roquan's got 74 tackles in 7 games, by the way, averaging over 10 tackles a game. So he's just all over the place.
Do we feel like we need to make a trade in the secondary? Do we feel like we need to make a trade in the secondary?
I don't think it needs to be a big splashy thing, but if we do something similar to like Buffalo going to get Rasul Douglas or something like that last year, just like a guy who can fill in and play if you need him to, I wouldn't mind that, but I don't think it needs to be like you need to go get Jalen Ramsey or something like that.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah, and I mean, any kind of help will hurt because inevitably somebody's going to end up getting hurt. And I mean, obviously Humphrey's hurt, and the stats that we saw or that I've been seeing, he's so much better in the slot, covering in the slot than he is on the outside. So I mean, that's why we got Stevens and why am I blanking on the other guy right now? Our rookie Wiggins on the outside.
Nate Wiggins.
So I mean, any help would I think it would help in general, just to shore up that a little bit. If anything, honestly, beginning of the year, I think we all would have said offensive line, but the way that they've progressed, and I can't believe how fast they've gotten this much better over a short period of time. I don't think anybody would have guessed that.
Yeah.
So yeah, at this point in time, recency bias. Yeah, I mean, could use some help on the secondary.
Yeah, just a glue guy, just somebody that's.
Why is everyone so hung up on the wide receiver? Us going after a wide receiver right now?
I have no idea. Rashad Bateman looked great.
I don't know.
Especially great.
Bateman looked excellent last night on those deep routes, and Lamar hitting him on that like 45 or 50-yard touchdown.
That pass was
awesome. I just feel like we never get to see that as Ravens
fans. My nipples got
hard.
Yeah.
God, it was so awesome. It made me so happy. It made me so happy. Also, former Patriot Nelson Aguilar just seems to always be there for like 2 or 3 catches a game when we really need a first down, and I love that guy. I don't know why. I guess because he was thrust into like a number 1, number 2 role in the first couple teams he was on, and he doesn't have as much pressure on him being like the 6th option on our offense. But I think he's been excellent as a short yardage guy. That
is
really
the total
helping,
opposite.
Keeping the chains moving.
He is the total opposite of alligator arms. That dude will take a licking and doesn't give a shit.
Yeah,
I was gonna say that dude's tough. He's like the over the middle guy. Like if you want somebody to catch the ball and knows he's gonna get hit, like Zay can catch stuff over the middle, but he's so elusive he's not gonna get hit. I mean, Aguilar goes over the middle and he's like, all right, I'm about to get crushed, but I'll make the catch.
He's Anquan Bolden. But Anquan Bolden was a better receiver.
Yeah, much better.
Yeah, wait.
Yeah.
What about, was he the number 1 on Philly when he was there too, or was that?
He was the number 1 pick.
He was drafted. He was drafted in the first round. He was drafted in the first round by Philly. He went to the Patriots after. They drafted him and J.J. Arcega-Whiteside in back-to-back years over Justin Jefferson and somebody else who they should have not. Anyway, they figured out their wide receiver problems later. But by the way, Justin Tucker hasn't missed a field goal in 4 weeks. So are we still worried about that guy or
no?
All those people that were talking shit about him go fist
Yeah.
themselves.
Yeah, I'm not worried about him. I don't think he's might have had like 1 attempt over 50 yards because our offense has been so freaking good.
He had 150. He had a 50 last night.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He's had like that one and maybe one other one, maybe not. Maybe
it's in the Cincy overtime game. He
regardless, I'm not worried about it.
Yeah. Look, in the grand scheme of things, look, the Ravens are a good team. I'm not damn about power rankings or any of that shit, but they're having a great season so far. They've rebounded from the 0-2 start. We should be very proud of what they're doing, and it seems like everything's trending in the upward direction.
Are we going to have, I mean, at this point in time, we are on pace to have the MVP and the Offensive Player of the Year. And the last time that happened,
they are the betting favorites. I don't know if it's ever happened.
The Rams?
Yep.
Is it really
Kurt Warner and Marshall Faulk?
Kurt Warner and Marshall Faulk.
Yep. So
how come Isaac Bruce doesn't get any love?
Because Torrey Holt was sick.
Yeah. I mean, that team was so nasty.
I mean, Torrey Holt needed a Scottie Pippen. I mean, I think Bruce was.
L'Oreal Greenback. Wow, I forgot about that guy. Let's move on from the Ravens and stay in the AFC North. The Steelers took down the Jets on Sunday night, 2 nights ago. They are also 5-2, tied with us in our division. We have not gotten to see them yet. What do we think about the move for them to Russell Wilson? What do we think about the game against the Jets? What do we have on that? Mike, we'll start with you because you're our guest.
So I'm a little biased because I grew up playing against Russell Wilson in baseball, not football. And he always kind of got a bad name because, didn't want football on him. But he kind of got a bad name growing up because he played for a private school, which he played in a very good private school league. But I'm always kind of biased. So I want him to play. But my other bias is I'm an Ohio State fan. So I want my guy to have a shot to run his team. Right. So he didn't really get that shot last time with the Bears. It was a little bit, but he didn't really get that shot. But I'm not surprised at the move. I think they should stick more towards a 2-quarterback system. Have him in for special situations. You definitely make sure they use Justin Fields' legs and Russell's game time ability, kind of like Peyton Manning-ish kind of game time management ability to help them in some maybe more important moments. But other than that, I think he's still a great leader for Justin Fields to learn and evolve. But no, I mean, I'm okay with it. I think the move was when it's needed, and it was a good win.
I don't know. I go ahead, Brooks.
I was going to say I like it. I like it in the sense that Tomlin went out on a limb here, and it sounds like nobody else wanted him to do this because he just wanted to see what he has. And I think it's kind of smart in terms of he wants to see now's the time to start figuring out, all right, we're about to start. They haven't played any conference games yet. So he literally threw him out there knowing, and maybe this week as well. I don't know who they play this week, but and maybe this week as well.
They play the
to be like
Giants.
Giants. So he'll probably start again this week. Probably start again this week and see, all right, now he gets to choose who's going to be the starter for their run, for their playoff run. So it's kind of brilliant, to be honest with you, because these games, they matter, but they kind of don't in terms of we're about to start they're about to start their conference schedule, and he just tried out 2 quarterbacks and he gets to have his pick, and Russell hasn't played much in the last 2 years, really. So
I don't know. I think it's smart in the sense that I think what they need, because their defense is so good, really all they need is a game manager. I think Justin Fields is prone to making a lot of stupid mistakes, and I think Russell Wilson is a guy who won't make those stupid mistakes, and I think Tomlin's going to side on that and the veteran part. I think Tomlin really respects that part of Russell Wilson over Justin Fields. So I think from that sense, it makes a little bit more sense to me, but I don't think offensively either of these guys are going to be scaring me as we go down the stretch in this season. I think I'm more afraid of that Pittsburgh defense, but as a Ravens fan, I just feel confident that we're going to be able to score on any defense. And if Russell Wilson is their quarterback, good luck trying to keep up with Lamar. I don't think you're going to be able to put up enough points. I just don't. I think that they're taking care of the teams that they should take care of. I think their defense is keeping them in games, and Mike Tomlin's just one of the best coaches in the league, and he's helping. But I'm not scared of Pittsburgh down the stretch, regardless of who they start at quarterback. Brian?
Me neither. I think so one last thing. I think Russell does open up their offense a little bit because he can be a little bit more accurate down the field, which helps their running game, which I think is one of the biggest positives for them.
I firmly believe that Mike Tomlin's one of the best coaches in the NFL. He's very direct. He's very to the point. I feel like he's extremely uncomfortable right now with his quarterback situation. I don't know how to exactly put it into words, but it just seems uncomfortable with having these two guys. Justin Fields is way better outside of the pocket running bootlegs. Russell Wilson used to be great at that when he was with Seattle. It almost felt like Pete Carroll was like, "Hey, Russ, go do something." So I don't really know how to feel, but I do believe this: TJ Watt should be in the MVP talk. They put 3 people on him every fucking time, and he still somehow gets pressures.
Yep. I mean, him going up against this Jets O line was just a match made in heaven. This Jets O line is absolutely abysmal. They had to put everybody on him the whole game. I mean, there's no way you can stop him.
And I hate people that just look at sacks, because that's a number, right? You get like 16, 18, 20 sacks a year. The pressures, when you get pressure, that changes the game, and it's not registered anywhere.
Yeah. And that's where Aaron Donald had such an impact, but he didn't have those high sack numbers, but he was getting double and triple teamed and still putting up double-digit sacks from the inside, just something that players don't do. I think I like that point, Brian.
Yeah, I mean, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say. Not only that, they just got a Highsmith or Hightower back too. Highsmith, right?
Highsmith. They got Highsmith back, and then they got another guy back.
I always say Hightower from the Patriots.
Yeah, not Tim Hightower, former Cardinals running back.
Oh no, Dante Hightower from the Patriots.
Yeah, from the Patriots. I always call him Hightower, and I'm like, it's not Hightower. But no, they just got him back. I think this week or last week. Which is their other big time pass rusher. So I mean, now they're not going to be able to put 3 guys on him. So because I mean, you have him back that you're going to have to block, and I mean, you always have Hayward too. So I mean, Hayward's not really a rusher per se, but he can. But it's just another guy that got to put guys on. So their defense is just going to get better. Even though I think they lost somebody last week. Or this week, I mean, in their secondary. But regardless.
They don't seem like a team that's going to last. The Lions seem like a team that will last. The Steelers feel like the foe.
Steelers need a wide receiver.
Badly.
Yeah, I was
really
going to
thought
say,
Mike Wallace.
if any
Mike
team
Wallace.
needs a receiver, Rams said they'll listen to offers for Cup. Anybody
Yeah.
should be interested in that guy because he's a stud.
A great beard.
Yeah,
Great beard.
I don't know. I mean, I think the
Excellent.
Steelers definitely need to be looking into the Mike Williams market, into the Alan Lazard market if he's available. Any kind of receiver you can get. I think they should be definitely looking just to try to improve their offense even a little bit.
Yeah.
Because
I'd
Calvin
agree with you
Austin
on that
and
one.
Roman Wilson are not number 2 or number 3 receivers. They're just not at this point. Did anybody watch the other game last night, the Cardinals Chargers game at all? No, I didn't watch. I didn't watch a minute of it.
Because it was terrible. The Chargers needed
Yeah.
that win, and that's a win that absolutely leaves you out of the playoffs.
Yeah, I just I'm looking at the box score. The Cardinals, we talked about it all week. The Cardinals can't stop the run. They're terrible against the run. J.K. Dobbins, 14 for 40. What was going on? They couldn't run the ball against this team who's got a terrible rush defense. What? I'm interested to know what happened in that game. If anybody watching can give us any kind of insight, if anybody saw it, that's
Kyler Murray's little legs were running like he was actually still playing video games. I mean, he was killing it.
He's so fast, dude.
So fast.
I don't know what it is. What it is about
It's
him.
crazy fast.
Every highlight I watch of him running, I'm like, dude, this guy does not look like he should be. He looks like he's hovering.
And he's putting the ball. He's already holding the ball up. He's 2 yards past the line of scrimmage. He's like, touchdown. See you, dude.
He's just so athletic.
Why do you have a bowling pin right there?
It was outside my.
It was in the yard, man.
It was outside my house the other day, dude. I have no idea why. Just randomly
It's
came up.
outside your house. That's a bowling pin.
So I told him it was frat days. That's where that came from.
Baltimore City, baby, Baltimore City.
This wasn't instigated at all. This
When he gets
happened.
Does it have?
when Ryan gets bored, he just tries to pick up spares.
Does
It's
it
a
have?
scam. It's living in the city, dude.
I was gonna say, does it have the actual bowling alley name on it, but it just says King on it?
Yeah, King Red something. It's kind of like grayed out. I can't really tell. City living, dude. Also, someone threw up in my alley yesterday.
Never
so that was
recorded.
awesome, too.
Canton the finest.
Oh, without doubt.
All right, let's move along the slate of games.
Also, keep us on the
let's
tracks.
talk about I think the best game on Sunday. I watched football all day on Sunday. And obviously the Ravens didn't play, so I got to watch a bunch of different games, which is really fun for me. Lions-Vikings, I think, was the game of the day on Sunday. The Vikings looked like they were out of it a couple different times, but just kept on making crazy defensive plays that kept them in the game. I think the right team won in the end. I think Detroit is a little bit better than them, but I was really impressed by the Vikings and their ability to stick with the Lions throughout this game, despite, I don't think, playing their best game of the year offensively. So Aaron Jones looked really great coming back. Justin Jefferson made 2 or 3 catches. Every time I watch him play, he makes 2 or 3 catches where I'm like, holy shit, like this guy is so good. But yeah, I think Jared Goff was nearly perfect. And Jahmyr Gibbs David Montgomery had a down game. Jahmyr Gibbs picked it right up and had 125 yards and 2 touchdowns on the ground. It's just they just feel like a well-oiled machine on offense. Brian, let's go to you first. What do you have on that game? Or the
Sure.
Lions
I mean, I love the Lions. I mean, well-oiled machine is probably the best way to put it, because especially with Detroit and Motor City, but I mean they just look so good, and they got a great coach, and I never want to meet that man in an alley. So I love what the Lions are doing, and even when they sustain injuries, they still find a way. I know next man up is a cliche. They just find a way to continue to get it done. And they really remind me of the NFC version of the Ravens.
There you go.
Yeah, good point.
Mike?
And Montgomery got hurt part of the way through this one. And
he did.
Also, sick nickname they want to go by now. Did you hear that?
Yeah, Sonic and Knuckles.
I'm gonna go by Sonic and Knuckles.
Oh, that's amazing! Fuck yeah, dude! People start bringing rings to like those coins of rings.
Yeah,
people are gonna start every time they truck somebody. People are gonna edit rings coming out of the defenders. That's gonna be amazing.
That's great.
That's awesome.
Are they still doing the Nickelodeon games? That's what they should do. The Nickelodeon games should be them, and it should be like the Sonic stuff.
I think they. I don't think they do them every week, but I do think they do them sometimes, like every now and then.
2 or 3 a year, I think. Yeah,
twice a year. Yeah,
2 or 3.
I remember they did one in the playoffs. Remember, like the Browns and the Steelers maybe played in the playoffs a couple years ago.
Well,
And,
Deshaun Watson
I remember there was a
anything. He was scoring no women.
Oh man!
Oh, sorry, I went there. My bad.
Let's leave the Deshaun. Let's not talk about Deshaun Watson right now.
Anyway, let's go back to the Lions. Let's go back to the Lions.
We'll get to the Browns in a second. Did you see what Chris Christie had to say about Lions head coach Dan Campbell?
Chris Christie, the politician?
I did not.
Who is a Cowboys fan, said that Dan Campbell was classless after the 47-9 win last Sunday over Dallas. And Dan Campbell's response is, I mean, he's one of us, dude. The last time somebody called me class drinking wine out of a bottle, I'm not worried about it.
Beautiful.
It's amazing.
And it's short and sweet, too. It's like the Indiana coach. He's like, all I do is win. Google me. I love short and sweet hitters. It's awesome.
That guy's awesome.
I love Dan Campbell.
Yeah, I mean, good day for the NFC North again. Obviously, the Vikings lose, but they look tough against the Lions. Green Bay takes care of business against the Texans. And honestly, the Texans couldn't really move the ball at all. The Packers defense looked really good in this game. In the second half, especially, they only gave up 3 points in the entire second half. Tank Dell and Stephon Diggs, I think, had one combined catch in the first 3 quarters of this game. So they did a really good job of keeping that offense at bay, keeping CJ Stroud, who I've been saying the last couple of weeks on this podcast that CJ Stroud's been one of the better quarterbacks in the league, along with Lamar Jackson. He didn't look like he had anything against this Packers defense in the second half.
There's a well-run organization. Mike, what do you got on this one?
I've been saying the same thing. CJ Stroud is, I think, one of the next top 5 quarterbacks, if he's not already a top 5 quarterback. Depends on who you are. But, yeah, he looked a little slow. Didn't look like he had a real good game plan. I don't think the coaches helped with that. But it just looked like he wasn't in rhythm, didn't look very comfortable at all, which is normally that's his thing. He's not – I wouldn't say cocky. He's arrogant a little bit in a good way. Like he has confidence.
Yeah.
And I think I didn't see any of that yesterday.
Fair enough. I mean, that's like Joe Burrow. Like Joe Burrow has confidence all day. Now, it's not leading to wins right now. By the way, D'Amico Ryans from the Houston Texans looks like he's still play, like right now. That man has not aged at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's somebody we forgot to bring up in the coaches fighting.
Oh, yeah. Mike, we brought up one time, like, who would you want to fight NFL coaches? We also like Dan Campbell, Mike Vrabel. No one brought up D'Amico Ryans. He could definitely he could tough.
I brought him up.
Yeah,
I said that. I said D'Amico Ryans. Some people said Big Bob Saleh.
Said Saleh.
He's not going to win any coaching battles.
I know who's losing first, Andy Reid or it's Mike McDaniel.
They're done.
What about your boy Matt Eberflus?
He wears a visor. He's scrappy.
The golf visor with the hair on it.
Jesus.
He wears a visor. He's scrappy. Oh man. Who's the first person you think of when you think of visors?
Steve Spurrier.
Yeah, that's a great call.
That's a good one.
You know what? You win.
That's a good one.
That's a 1 seed. That's a 1 seed.
Yeah. Mine was Bernhard Langer, but Steve Spurrier is better than him. So
it wins all day.
Bernhard Langer.
Bernhard Langer. Anchor punter.
Bernhard Langer always wears a visor.
Oh, man. I'm thinking like softball coach from Oklahoma.
Also, I got to give a shout out since we're on this game for the Brandon McManus making his first game back with all the shit that he went through, and he hit the walk off in that.
And signed the week prior.
If you guys
That's
don't
great.
know what happened to Brandon McManus, he was accused of like sexual assault, rape, couple other things, which is why he's been out of the league for I think a year now, maybe a little bit more, 2 years now. Obviously, was proven innocent. Has talked about like I don't know, just how terrible all that stuff was going through it. Came back and kind of had some vindication there. And first game back, hits a game winner right through the uprights at Lambeau Field and got to do the Lambeau leap. Good for him. I mean, I can't imagine going through something like that and being innocent the whole time and derails your career for 2 years. Same thing with that punter that we were talking about. So
Ariza or whatever. I mean, obviously, like if they did anything nefarious or stupid, then they're absolute morons. Yeah. And they should go to jail. But if you're proven innocent and you're vindicated, congratulations. And it sucks you have to go through something like that.
Yeah. But the problem is that the headline is always people are going to read the first one and then they're never going to read the second one. You know what I mean? It's just
clickbait.
And that's you get that stigma about you, and then you get proved innocent, and nobody cares because they already think, oh, this guy's a piece of shit. You know,
first thing that pops in your head.
So,
it's the Trevor Bauer effect, which we can talk about later when we get out of the football. But it's the Trevor Bauer effect. I mean, he should have been in the MLB this year. He should be pitching for a playoff team. He should have been. I mean, obviously now we have our World Series matchups, but he should have been pitching for a playoff team after proving that he didn't do anything wrong. It's kind of shitty.
I agree with you there.
That's social media world now. It's social media world.
I've been beating that drum as well. Couple other people disagree with me, but we'll get to that when we get to baseball.
Yeah, when we get to baseball.
I'm with you on that one, Mike.
Yeah, 100%.
Couple more games I want to talk about. Bengals Browns. That's a big one for our division. Bengals took care of business. Deshaun Watson ruptured his Achilles. He is out for the year. Couldn't happen to a better guy. I don't really have anything else to say about this game. Jamar Chase and T. Higgins each have a touchdown.
Chubb back.
Yeah, Chubb comes back. He gets a touchdown. Good for him.
Chubb's
good
amazing.
for Cleveland. They get to start a competent quarterback for the rest of the way for Cleveland. Makes me a little scared for our potential matchups against them because Jameis Winston could be eating W's. I don't know, man.
I'm not going to say
Go ahead, Mike. I'll let you start this.
Mike, go ahead, man.
Oh no, it couldn't have happened to a better person getting hurt. Yeah. I'm on that train. No, I'm anxious to see what Jameis is going to do. He did a couple of things, obviously, in Tampa when he was there, and obviously he's in his own way, if that makes sense.
Fair.
He stays in his own way.
Yeah.
So I think if he just played football and didn't worry about everything else, which I think being a backup's kind of humbled him a little bit, I think that might help. But I'm interested to see what he's going to do because it's a talented team. I mean, they're not bad. It's just they've had terrible leadership so far. And obviously you bring in a guy that has going through a lot. He's a lot going on and he's a lot of distraction. So I'm anxious to see what he's going to do. Don't necessarily – doesn't matter to me if they win or not, but I'm anxious to see what he's going to do.
I think this is addition by subtraction. Addition by subtraction.
Yeah.
And look, I never want to see anyone get hurt, but this is karma.
Yeah, but shame on Browns fans for cheering for that, even though he's a dude.
Terrible.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
That's fucked up. That's so stupid. You never want to see someone get hurt. Like when Michael Irvin almost broke his neck in Philly and they cheered it. That was ridiculous.
Yeah,
that's not class. That's not class at all.
Class. I don't want to ever see someone get hurt, but I'm just saying karma. That's it. And
there was.
Excuse me, but I do believe that Jameis Winston's actually going to do a decent job.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, if we know anything about Jameis, the guy fucking can sling it. He's a gunslinger. And which doesn't bode well for our secondary. Seriously, this week coming up against them, hopefully we can get home on them, which I think we can. But I mean, the guy threw for over 4,000 yards, I believe, every year with Tampa. I mean, he had a shit ton of interceptions, but the guy slings it. He puts up a lot of touchdowns, a lot of picks though too. But I mean, he got to sit a little bit, like Mike said. And I think Dustin and I have been calling for this the entire year, that he should be the starter for New Orleans, really. But now that he's with the Browns, I think he should be the starter as well. Going back to the Deshaun thing, I agree with everything in terms of, it couldn't happen to a better person. He's a shithead. I get it. You don't cheer when somebody gets hurt, and you don't. The guy could be trying to get his life right now in terms of him as a human being. But like I said, just don't cheer for it. I get it. I understand it. You just don't do that. And then as his teammates, some of the way they worded some of the shit that they said in the post-game stuff, like, you can't come out and say, like, have some empathy for the guy. Like, no, nobody has empathy for him, for what he did. He shouldn't even be in the NFL right now. So no, people aren't going to have empathy for him. And honestly, you're giving your city even more reason to not like a lot of the players on the team for some of the stuff they came out and said.
They should boo the owner, not Deshaun Watson. I mean, Deshaun Watson is a piece of shit, and I understand that.
Yeah,
and I don't want to see him hurt, but they should boo the owner.
Yeah, you shouldn't boo anybody when they get hurt. Like I said, and I get that we all don't love Deshaun Watson. He's a piece of shit human being, and this happened a few years ago for all intents and purposes, from what we know. So maybe he's working himself onto a better path at this point in time. So who knows? But yeah, some of his teammates need to shut the hell up, and in some of the ways. I understand you need to come out for your teammate, but some of the things that they said and the way they worded it, they could have just said, I don't think we should boo, like exactly what I said. I don't think we should boo somebody when they get hurt. I don't think that's the right thing to do. And then just left it at that. They didn't need to come out and say, have some empathy for this guy and all this different stuff. So
No, they didn't say that shit.
No.
But, I mean, it just stinks. It stinks all around. I mean, they called him Superman at Clemson. And unfortunately, he's just he's got some transgressions he needs to fix.
Yeah,
I remember back when everybody used to like back when everybody still liked Dabo Sweeney. I remember he had an interview, and they said, "What would you tell a team that would pass up not taking Deshaun Watson #1 overall?" And he was like, "You'd be passing up Michael Jordan." Or something like that.
Yes,
it was something. That
might be a
like
direct quote.
Now, obviously, now everyone, shits on Dabo all the time, and we don't have as much respect for his opinion anymore because of the way Clemson's performed over the last couple of years. But I mean, it just sucks. The whole situation sucks. He was one of the best quarterbacks in the league. He was one of my favorite guys to root for, and now I don't like him at all, obviously. And it's shitty. It's shitty that he gets hurt and has to hear a parade of boos from his hometown fans, though.
That stinks. It's so classless. Yep. I want to move on. Wide receiver injuries over the weekend. Holy hell. I mean, Chris Godwin,
Brandon
Ayuk, Mike Evans.
Yeah, we should have talked about this during the Ravens game.
Godwin out for the year. They have a minute left. They're down by 10, and it's 3rd and 20. What the fuck is Chris Godwin doing on the field? If he gets hurt, like, your chances of making the playoffs are automatically lower. Like, it's I don't know. I don't get it. I will say this though. I mentioned this a little bit earlier. Roquan Smith is being investigated by the league because apparently that was a hip drop tackle, and he's probably going to get fined for it. Which
they said they're going to look into it.
They don't know yet. Obviously, they're going to look into it. But obviously, I don't think he'd be up for any kind of suspension or anything. But that just really sucks. Brooks, do you had something to say on Chris Godwin?
Yeah, so you're making a point that a lot of people made last night after the game and during the game, I guess, too. I disagree with it in terms of I disagree with the point, like, why is he in? I think he should be in. I mean, they're making a comeback. How are you going to tell somebody that your starting quarterback's still in the game? You're still fighting. You're making a comeback. There's enough time to still make a comeback. You're going to go up to him and say, like, hey, I'm sitting you down. And he's going to be like, go fuck yourself. You're going to lose the respect to your coach.
Without a doubt.
Or from your player to your coach. if you come up and start sitting guys in that situation. I just think that's close enough of a game, and you've already gotten one on. Like you can get another onside kick back and potentially win or tie it. I don't think you stop fighting, and I don't think they wanted to stop fighting either. And maybe he did go up to him, hey, sit, and he probably said, "Go fuck yourself. I'm going out there."
Yeah, if you get a touchdown, and then we've already saw that they got an onside kick earlier in the game, you're playing, and you're 100% right, Brooks. If you take these guys out and sit everybody, what the fuck you doing? Like, you're fighting to win, and you're putting stuff on tape that, Chris Godwin's in a contract here. So he wants to show that he can still do it, and he's a great receiver.
I think rule of thumb is, too, like if the starter and quarterback's still in there, you should probably be in there.
Mike, what do you got, man?
No, I'm just I'm on the same boat as y'all. It's kind of like the Boobie Miles effect from
great reference.
Yeah, it's
Friday Night Lights.
Yeah, Friday Nights. He hid the helmet. Probably that's what they made you think. So he hid the helmet, but he wanted to be out there because he's a competitor. And it doesn't matter if you're down 20, down 30. I know this from when I played. I want to be in there no matter what. I don't care if we were up 10, 15, doesn't matter. I wanted to be in there. I wanted to be able to play. So I understand Godwin being back out there. The injury, yes, that sucks. But Baker's out there. I mean, they're out there playing, and this is their job. Like, to us, it's an amazing sport to watch. We have people we look up to, but this is their job, and he gets paid to do this every day. So I have no fault in him being out there at that point.
Really, the only thing I can say is that it sucks. It sucks. We lost Chris Godwin in probably for at least half the year next year too. I just think that I don't know. So if they're up by 20 with that amount of time left, or 14,
you move on.
Yeah. Then as the head coach, you go protect your player from himself, right? At that point, they still had a chance to come back in that game.
Correct. That's where I'll disagree with Michael on this one. Is if the team's up by 20,
well, I don't think
there's no game plan there. You're losing. All right, but 10 and a onside kick, you can get it.
Mike was trying to make a point.
Yeah.
But if it was like a minute left, right? But like if you're down by 20 I think Mike is saying it doesn't matter how much you're down by, you're gonna want to go out there and compete. But if there's a minute left and you're down by 20, there's no point. Like that's when the coach has got to be a coach.
Very fair.
Yeah, I get that. That is fair. I agree.
Very, very, very fair. I mean, you're a competitive athlete. You want to be out there. Yeah. You want to fucking do the best you can.
There are variables where you should be taken out. But I understand the competitiveness, but no, I agree.
Yeah,
that's I didn't see the Ayuk injury. I heard it was a little bad.
I didn't see that.
Anyone see it?
I just saw him getting carted off.
I can't watch him.
No,
I can't watch him. Once I heard about it. I didn't watch it live. I heard about it. I saw him on the cart. I was like, I'm not watching it. I can't.
Yeah.
Did anyone hear any update?
It sucks for the Niners, that whole situation.
Yeah.
That whole situation sucks with the Niners now. I mean, Ayuk holds out, gets into training camp late, has a really tough time getting reacclimated to the offense, has a really bad start to the year, and then tears his ACL after they give him this big contract. Deebo Samuel left the game at halftime. He's still in the hospital. He's got pneumonia.
Oh, what are pneumonia-like symptoms?
Kittle went out.
Why are you say he has pneumonia?
No,
not pneumonia-like symptoms. He has pneumonia.
He has pneumonia.
No,
yes.
No, they confirmed that he has pneumonia. He's got fluid in his lungs, which is pneumonia. But
yeah.
So yeah, they
I don't know what that's going to look like, but I can't imagine he should be playing football in the next week or two. I don't think so.
Why is it always flu-like symptoms? You have the flu.
That's pretty
so stupid.
That's fair. That's fair.
You have the flu. Flu-like symptoms.
That's fair.
It's a medically correct term, dude.
Good.
It sucks for the Niners, though. They're kind of in a tailspin. Let's talk about that game. Yeah.
Fire away.
Not a lot of offense in the first half. Pretty boring to watch. Honestly, Sunday slate in general, I thought was pretty subpar, pretty boring. Other than that Lions-Vikings game and maybe that Green Bay-Houston game a little bit, but even that second half wasn't very good. But yeah, I think it was just kind of a boring game. I think Mahomes and the offense are not playing very well at all. Somehow they're 6-0. I think their defense is the most underrated unit in the league. They're winning games with their defense and special teams. Their offense is struggling, and it doesn't seem to matter. It just seems like they're inevitable. If they're in the game at any point and there's 10, 15 minutes left, they're going to win. You have to put them down by 30. I mean, it just doesn't feel like they go away.
I agree with you, Mike. Go ahead.
No,
Mike,
go ahead, Brian. You go first.
I have three key pieces: Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, and Travis Kelce. And those guys know how to win. They don't flinch. They have no problem. I forget who their kicker is. He's very solid.
Harrison Butker.
There you go, Bang Biscuit. And then those guys just know how to win. They've been there. They do not flinch whatsoever. You need to put them down by 2 scores. Yeah. The Ravens should have won that first game, and I'm not bringing up the Ravens but they should have beat them in that game. Yeah. But the Chiefs know how to win, and we did it. And I love it. And that's why I hope the Ravens, when they go to the playoffs, they need to have a mentality and a fucking focus of who they are and what they are. Don't start throwing the ball. If you're going to run Derrick Henry, you run fucking Derrick Henry. If you're going to throw the ball, you're going to fucking throw the ball. But you better get it right before you go to the playoffs. But the Chiefs just seem to win.
They got experience, right? They just know how to win. I mean, they've been doing it for a long time now. But yeah, I mean, we said it last week. Eye test right now. If you're doing the eye test and taking records away from it, you don't know what the records are. You're probably saying the Ravens are the best team in the league.
Ravens, the Lions,
and you're probably saying that the Chiefs are maybe 4th or 5th best team in the league. Yeah. But I mean, again, the record is the record. So, and the Chiefs, for what Pat McAfee says, the Chiefs is still the Chiefs, and they're undefeated, and they're still figuring out a way to win games, and they're obviously nowhere close to performing the way that they know how to, which is still scary that they're winning.
They build up steam.
Yeah,
Mike, what did you have, man?
No, I was just gonna say, like, as much as I'm not a fan of Patrick Mahomes for what he's done to my Patriots and he is the field general, and I don't think he's playing very well. Obviously, the stats can say he's not playing well, but he, like you were saying, Brian, him, Andy Reid, Travis Kelce, Harrison Butker, the guys that have been on the team, their defensive line is ridiculous. They shut down any option that a team has. So you're only making them. Most teams are getting one-dimensional. So you can have the honey badger in the backfield. I mean, the backfield, and he does his thing defensively. But it's just they know how to win, and it's just become the culture there. It's maybe 08 Patriot kind of feel. I mean, they're just doing well, and I don't want to play – like there's 2 teams right now, 3 teams I don't want to play. I don't want to play the Lions, I don't want to play the Ravens, and I don't want to play the Chiefs because they find ways to win. Each team does.
Yeah, I mean, you win by 1, you win by 2 touchdowns. It doesn't fucking matter. It's a win.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So I'm with you. 44 passer rating this week. That's rough. I mean, and they still win the game.
I mean, he's got 6 touchdowns to 8 picks. I think he's leading the league in interceptions at this point in the season. He is. He has got the most interceptions of any quarterback in the league.
Will Levis?
Mahomes.
Will Levis?
No, Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes. And they're 6-0. He's playing
terribly. Do you think he cares?
They have no weapons on offense. Nope. No. It doesn't matter. Because Steve
I agree.
And Chris Jones are winning them football games. And now Kareem Hunt. I mean, It's crazy. They have a parade of people that nobody wanted, just misused toys, and Juju Smith-Schuster and Kareem Hunt and all these guys playing offense for him. It doesn't matter. It doesn't. They're 6-0. It's crazy. I don't fucking get it.
You're 100% right. They could bring in Randall Cobb, and all of a sudden he would have 1,000 yards.
Yeah.
And Chris Jones, if he didn't have Aaron Donald in front of him being the best defensive tackle maybe of all time, Chris Jones should be up there.
Yeah. Dude, he's unbelievable.
He's sick.
Like
that line is unbelievable.
They're nasty.
Oh,
they're
by the way,
stop the run when you get to December and January.
Sorry, go ahead, Brian.
Oh, that's right. I just want to say the Jets fucking suck. That's
yeah, they absolutely suck.
We'll get to that game, but so the one thing I also want to say about the Chiefs is that it was really eye-opening to watch Tom Brady do the broadcast for the Mahomes game this year.
Go.
Also, and it's almost like, so I mean, I know you probably didn't get to like listen to it just because you're at work and probably don't have the sound on. He's basically said that like he's finally learned that instead of going, and obviously he's still not playing the way he would like to be playing, even with what I'm about to say. He's finally learned to like use his defense, learn how to throw the ball away, and learn to just check down, or just check into a run play and not try to make the big play all the time, even though he's great at it, right? Mm-hmm. But I mean, if you just throw the ball, it's going to work out, right? Like he's Patrick Mahomes, he makes these spectacular plays, but like if he just throws the ball away, you live to play another down, or you don't get yourself out of field goal range or whatever. So it was really interesting listening to Tom Brady like talk about that, and it's something that he had to learn in his career as well. And to go back to what Mike was saying about hating Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, now you know how the rest of the league felt about you, buddy.
Oh no! Hey,
that's a true statement right there, baby.
I get it. But I think that Brady calling that game is helpful because Brady saw it firsthand. So what was it? The last Super Bowl they played, how many yards did Patrick Mahomes run back, like negative, like 200 and something yards or something negative to get out of scrambles and everything. So he's seen Mahomes at his best beating him. I've been there in New England, watched it happen. But Brady has seen Mahomes at his worst and best and still says he's, in my opinion, that he's growing up and he's changing the way he's playing. He's being smarter, and I 100% agree. Like, now, will I ever say that Mahomes will ever be Brady? No. But I think that he's well on his way to make his stance to be one of the next.
Yeah, I think Brian.
Who knows, right?
We'll see. I think Brian harkens on this all the time. Brian says this all the time. He likes that the Ravens are playing closer games. I think that's why the Chiefs are so good at this. Like, it seems like every year, and it's especially the last couple of years. And if you remember last year, people didn't think the Chiefs were very good because in the whole regular season they were playing close games against pretty bad teams, and they're kind of pulling out these wins. And I think now it's more of just like, they're just so used to playing in these close games. So when it comes to time in January and you're in a close game, they just know how to win. And we talked about it already. So maybe I'm beating a dead horse here, but no. I don't know. On San Francisco's side of the football, I'm extremely worried about them. I don't really think there is a very good team in the NFC West this year. I think Seattle is going to put up the biggest fight for San Francisco. But I think San Francisco's got a lot of problems. We already talked about the injuries. McCaffrey, we hear less and less about him every week. It seems like we don't have any idea if he's going to be playing football anytime soon. And with their receivers out, Jawan Jennings is out too. George Kittle left early because he sprained his foot. I'm sure he's going to have to play through that because everyone else is hurt. I think the NFC West is wide open.
Yeah.
Mike, what do you got, man?
The only thing I got is on the Christian McCaffrey side. Personal opinion is they played this week. They're off the following week, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm thinking that he comes back after their off week because he's been on the field. He's been practicing a little bit. Yeah, after the bye. He's been on the field. He's been practicing a little bit. He hasn't been doing anything like hasn't been in live practices, getting tackled or anything like that. But I think he's been doing drills. And from what I hear, my GM at work, he played for in the NFL. So his team's the Niners, and him and I are sharing the same opinion on that. I think that he might come back in 2 weeks. And if he doesn't come back in 2 weeks, I think Christian McCaffrey's done. And I think you might as well just call him out. And like you said earlier, Jordan Mason's doing a great job. I mean,
what's the
rush?
Yeah, they got the Cowboys next week.
Yeah. The rush is they're below 500. They're terrible. That's the rush.
This
they're
bowling pin
They
could
need
run
to
through
get their
that line.
weapons on the field.
Yeah.
Well, I hear you, but I mean, Jordan Mason's doing a great job in that aspect. I mean, it's more the wide receiver injuries right now and the defensive injuries.
And that's And Brooksy, that's what I'm going to get at.
If you put Christian McCaffrey on the field,
he's another.
You open up wide receivers.
Those wide receivers. Yeah, you can. Yeah, exactly. You open up that offense so much more.
Yeah.
That's just all I'm saying.
But where is it? And this is going to sound like double entendre. Where is the use of Juszczyk in this one? Because they love Juszczyk as a fullback, and he's very good in the flat. But the Niners are experiencing, and this is going to be apples to oranges sports-wise, the Niners are experiencing what the Orioles experienced this year, injuries. They were very healthy last year. They're injured this year. Other than Deebo Samuel last year, who was injured all the time, and he's injured again now, they had very healthy team. Now they're injured.
Yeah.
Deebo's sick.
Yeah, he'll be back.
Yeah, he's not injured.
With illness. All right, he's not playing.
All right, let's move off that game.
I got one more thing. The Jets fucking.
Let's go to the Jets.
Let's get through a couple of these games quickly. Let's go through a couple of these blowouts quickly, and then we'll get to the Jets. Bills take care of the Titans. The Titans got up early, I think 10-0, and then the Bills came back. We didn't talk about that game, did we?
We did this. We just talked.
Anyway, Josh Allen looked good. Amari Cooper scored in his first game. I don't have much on that game. The Bills are better than the Titans. The Titans are bad. The Colts-Dolphins game was just an absolute shit show. Like just one of the worst red zone offensive games I've ever seen. Both teams were just fumbling and throwing picks at the goal line as much as they wanted to. It was terrible. Tua eligible to come back this week. And then the Eagles blow out the Giants. If you guys have anything else on any of those games you want to highlight,
yes. If you're a veteran of the Colts on that team, are you pissed off at the coaching staff for starting in
if I'm a veteran on that team, I'm saying AR has one more week to figure it the fuck out until I start getting real pissed off.
You have a limited lifespan in this league. I don't want to be sitting around watching a guy grow.
Yeah.
And you got Joe Flacco who's going to break. And I'm not trying to be a homer.
He can get them to the playoffs.
Yeah.
He can get them to the playoffs.
Absolutely can get them to the playoffs.
And like I said, he's been stat-wise the best quarterback in the league. Maybe not now since Goff has been going off this year. The best quarterback in the league since he took over for the Browns last year in terms of QBR and yards and everything like that.
I'm going to throw in one thing in there, and I am not a Joe Flacco fan at all because I've watched him decimate the Patriots before. But I'll tell you, he is good. Like what is he, 39, 40? What is he now?
right there.
I mean, he's playing amazing. Why would you even thanks for making me feel older, man. But why would you even think about taking him out? He's been playing amazing. Like
he's a bearded Jeff George. He's a bearded Jeff George. He can
I just don't get it. Like, I mean, I don't, and I get you got a lot of money invested in a rookie. Trust me, I get it, or a young guy, but I get it. It's just no, put him back in, man. Keep winning games. I mean, what do you throw? 387 yards 2 weeks ago. I mean, something crazy.
Right.
He's averaging. I mean, he's averaging 310 yards a game, or maybe a little bit more now.
I mean,
since he took over last year, he was averaging 310 yards a game before he threw for like 387. So a little bit more.
Yeah. So okay, that's my point exactly. Why take him out? Like, you guys are terrible. You don't have anything. Like,
it makes sense.
And they're not terrible.
They won the game anyway.
Yeah, they did win the game.
They won the game anyway. But if Flacco plays in this game, they're putting up probably 25, 30 points on Dolphins. Mm-hmm. I don't think the Dolphins have anything going for them offensively or defensively right now. So I just think I totally agree with you guys. I think it's ridiculous. This is the NFL. I get it. You want to develop your young stud. You picked him number 4 overall. You want to see what he's got, but you got a better option. You got to take that better option right now. That's just my opinion.
Agreed.
Yeah. The only other thing I got to add after the other stuff that you just talked about, good for Saquon going back and putting his dick on the table on top of all of the Giants organization on their field and the most rushing yards on their field ever. That was awesome. Good for him.
Good for him. Good for him.
And
And the Jets fucking suck.
The Jet, yeah.
Just saying.
The Commanders
fucking suck, dude.
still really good. Commanders still really good.
They're scary.
By the way, Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels didn't even play. He played a half of a quarter, and Marcus Mariota beat the Panthers 40-7.
He played at least through halftime, I think.
No, he did not. He did not. He came out in the first quarter, dude.
Did he with that rib injury or something?
So he's week to week with a rib injury. He threw 2 passes and ran 3 times. So he only ran five or 6 plays, maybe 2 drives. But it looked like he took a hat to the rib, and they said he's week to week. He should be fine though. I think it was precautionary because they were playing Carolina. I think they had a lead already, and Mariota was handling it. By halftime, the game was over. So
the only thing I'll say on that, which I used to be a season ticket holder for the Redskins just because it's the closest team to go watch play football, and then tickets are cheap. The better they get, the non-cheap tickets are going to get. But the only thing I'll say on that is that if I quarterbacked the Redskins this past weekend, I might have gotten 15, 20 yards. So that's saying a lot because I'm terrible. So I might have gotten like 15 or 20 yards. So it's the Panthers. Let's not get overexcited, but I do think Jaden Daniels is playing extremely well. I think the Redskins are poised to have a good push, especially with their weak division. So, no, I think they're going to do all right.
Panthers put in Bryce Young again during that game as well.
Oh,
yeah.
God.
Yeah, it's terrible.
One other thing. Let's get to the
Patriots. Have Josh Rosen or Bryce Young?
Rosen.
Me,
Bryce
Young.
Jamarcus Ross,
we can talk about that.
I mean, Bryce Young is not set up for success at all there.
No.
Nobody.
The biggest waste of talent was David Carr when he got drafted by the Texans. I think he got sacked like 65 times.
He took 4 million times. Yeah.
Gunslinger.
We can talk about Brooks. We can talk about the London game, the Jags Patriots game. Tank Bigsby looks like he's just straight up better than Travis Etienne at running back. Brian Thomas is one of the absolute very best rookie receivers in the league. He's been excellent. He had another big game.
Behind neighbors, it is him. Behind neighbors, it is all
Patriots.
Him.
The Patriots, I know you're a Patriots fan, so we'll let you talk about this, Mike, but my perspective is that Drake May looks pretty good. I think your offensive line is one of the worst I've ever seen, and I think your defense is abysmal. I think it's just one of the least talented rosters in the league and one of the least talented rosters I've seen in a couple years, honestly.
Yeah.
Well, I'll hand you the knife back that you just twisted in me, but other than that, no, I agree. So I think Drake May shows some promise. I think Gerard Mayo, Hampton boy. So I'm down here in Virginia Beach. So sorry, guys. Hold on. Let me get that out. Sorry. It goes in my computer. I think he should have been a little bit more defensive minded, I would guess. I mean, I don't think Belichick left him with a lot of great stuff, but no, we're terrible. We don't have any enthusiasm. There's no more. Remember that Tom Brady running out of the tunnel, going to the other end of the field, going, let's fucking go kind of thing. You don't see any of that running out of the tunnel right now. I mean, they just don't look enthused. They don't look like they want to play football. And it's heartbreaking because you're a fan, you watch these guys. I mean, I got a Brady jersey, a Super Bowl jersey signed by him right there on my wall. I mean, it's terrible to watch, but I'm going to stick with them because I don't do that kind of thing and jump from team to team. It's just with Gerard Mayo, I feel like they need to step up their defense because he was such a beast for us for years. And I think that they lost their focus on defense a little bit because we've always had a good offense because we've had Brady. But defense has always been pretty strong. Teddy Bruschi, come on. I mean, we got people that have just led our defense, and we don't have a defensive leader anymore, in my opinion. Sorry, that took a little long time, but
it's all right.
You're good, man.
Yeah, a little long-winded, but it's fine, dude. You're learning. I saw one play that made me actually trust Drake May. He was getting rushed out of the pocket, and for a rookie, usually they want to make plays, and he just dumped the ball. He actually threw to the second baseman. He just dumped the ball down to the foot of the receiver. And normally a rookie wants to make a play, make a splash, and he just dunked it. And I was like, that actually has got some wherewithal, and I appreciated that.
He is, and he is
That's
actually
a Phil Rivers move.
Yeah, he is actually pretty fast though. If you see him get out and go,
yeah, he's athletic.
Oh, he's Daniel Jones-esque a little bit.
Yeah, he's pretty fast. The one thing that bothers me a little bit though, and you were talking about the defense, is I don't understand.
Thank you, Joe.
That is a good comment, Joe.
Yeah.
The one thing I don't understand is like last year they were like the number 3 run defense in the league, and they didn't lose anybody really besides,
Judon.
Yeah, they lost Judon, but he didn't play last year. So what's going on?
He was a pass rusher anyway.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I think like I said, the will to win because they don't trust in what's going on. You had Bill Belichick there for so long. I don't think they trust what's happening.
Does Gerard Mayo, does he call the defense, or does he let his defensive coordinator just run that?
I believe from watching that he helps call it. I think he gives a lot of headway to his defensive coordinator, but I think he helps.
Gotcha. That's something that I found interesting. The other thing is I know Dustin, you've been bashing their offensive line, and they're obviously not great, but they are injured, and they are missing their starting center of 10 years is out for the season as well, I believe.
Yeah.
So there are some injuries there, but regardless with the injuries, nobody's going to be successful behind that line at this point. And they're not going to run the ball. Ramondre Stevenson's not really doing much this year. Like nobody in that backfield is doing much this year just because they can't. So,
nope. You are 100% correct.
Yeah, he's got nothing. It's not his fault. He's a pretty good back, I think.
I drafted him in fantasy. I thought he was going to do all right, but no, he can't run the ball. So
that might be different if they're a little bit healthier. Who knows? But and to put a positive spin on that, that's why it's almost a little bit impressive here seeing Drake May sling it pretty nicely behind that line so far in the 2 games now, 2.5 games, 2 games, something like that.
Also his top receiver is Hunter Henry, Demario Davis, Jalen Polk, some combination of that. That's not the most awe-inspiring group of
Devontae should have been our number one. Devontae should have been our number one go-to. Like we should have killed for him, but no.
I think Dustin, you just name up Oakland A's. Who the hell are those people? I'm gonna go to my that's
Billy
a shame.
Billy Bean had his eye on all those guys.
Yeah. Rest in peace. I'm going to go to my that's a shame segment. I have 2 this week.
Oh, I got one.
USC football, your fall from grace. Look, I love Maryland football, and it's Gary Williams stole my lawn furniture.
Why does Brooks look like he knows what you're going to say right now?
You cannot lose to USC. You cannot come across the country and lose to Maryland. My second one. Jameson Williams, Alabama wide receiver. You have a PED suspension for 2 games after your rookie year where you got a gambling suspension for 4 games. Lock it up, dude. You're an NFL wide receiver making massive first-round money. Lock it up.
I'll add to that. I got some inside knowledge that there's probably some gun charges coming against him as well.
Perfect.
Ooh.
Even better.
No good for J.Mo Williams.
My that's a shame is, since Brian just brought it up, I'm going to go the opposite. My that's a shame is Maryland rushing the field after beating a 3-3 team.
3-4 team, yeah.
Well, they were 3-4 after they beat them and rushed the field, but they beat a 3-3 team. Like,
yeah.
Come on now. I get it. That's a nice win for the program, right? It's nice to say we beat USC, even if they are not the USC we're used to seeing. It's still a decent little win for us, but you should not be rushing the field after that.
No.
Taking that goalpost 3 miles down to the river.
I'm going to stay in college. For my that's a shame. My that's a shame goes to the Texas student section. They blew a call that cost Texas a turnover, and Texas's student section threw hundreds, if not thousands, of bottles of beer and water onto the field in protest. Come on, guys. Like, they had to stop the game for like 10 minutes to get all the shit off the field. McConaughey came out with a statement after the game saying we need to be better. We need to grow up. Just be better. Don't throw shit on the field. I get it. You're mad at the refs, but that's not the way to handle it. If you're
in my Lincoln, you just got to be better.
Yeah. Brooks, you had something right there.
Yeah. I got another one on top. Also, I mean, the dogs dog walked Texas this weekend. Oh shit, it's doing that thing again.
Oh yeah, their defense was in the backfield. Their defense was in the backfield the whole game. I watched the whole game. It was excellent. But Georgia's defense looked great.
Yeah. The other thing that I had was if you watched any of the Tennessee game, Tennessee, Alabama, nobody in the stands at Tennessee trying to smoke a cigar looks like they've ever smoked a cigar before in their life. Good fucking Lord.
I saw that video. So good.
That is awesome.
That was rough.
That is amazing.
Also, I got to give a shout out to Joe Radke here. He, I did not know this actually. Brian already probably knows where I'm going with this, but hey, where did Hunter Henry go to college?
Oh, I have no idea. I really don't.
Razorback. Joe Radke, big Arkansas.
He's a Razorback.
Big Arkansas Razorback. I did not know that actually. If somebody asked me where Hunter Henry went to college, I would not have known until you said that, Joe. That's a team LSU dog walked Arkansas.
No.
Good. I mean, I want Brian Kelly with all my heart to get fired. So I hate that man. So
who's this? Who do you hate?
Brian Kelly.
Yeah.
Oh
LSU,
yeah.
LSU.
Yeah.
I got to get this no battery thing off of here.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are that's a shames.
Mike, you got it. That's a shame.
I do, and I'm gonna obviously not on a surprise for you guys. I'm gonna go to baseball. And granted, they made it to the ALCS. That's a shame. What's embarrassing to me is Emmanuel Clase.
Ooh.
I mean, the man had a .61 ERA in 74 appearances. Okay, 74 appearances, and he goes and blows 3 games. It meant not just against the Yankees. He blew a game before that, but blows 3 games. What are you paying Wild Thing for? I mean, he comes out to Wild Thing now. I mean, that's a whole other standard you got to hold up on your own. But I mean, you blow 3 games, .64 ERA. Like
he was unhittable during the regular season.
Nobody had a chance. It just blew my mind.
Unhittable.
Was it lack of
He had one of the best
No.
reliever seasons ever.
Like, I mean, I'm talking he's beaten people that have won Cy Youngs. Eric Gagne. I mean, I'm pretty sure his ERA was lower than Eric Gagne in his Cy Young season.
Right. Yep.
So
was it lack of location? Was it?
I think he was trying too hard, and yes, lack of location. I mean, I think he might have been a little bit, from my watching, tipping his pitches as well. And you knew what he was going to throw. Like, I'm sitting in my bed watching the game saying, all right, here comes a cutter, here comes a fastball, here comes a curveball. Like, I shouldn't be able to see that. I mean, yes, I can see his hand from the bed because the camera is back there, but I shouldn't be able to tell you what's coming before it comes. So that's the biggest embarrassing thing to me. I'm like, you guys.
And the piggyback on that, his catcher came out and said that he was better than Mariano.
When he said that just
the guy hasn't pitched in a playoff game yet. Well, maybe he has. I'm not really sure, to be honest with you. But I mean, before the playoffs, they came out and said he's better than Mariano before he's
the only unanimous Hall of Famer of all time. Let's put it in park real quick.
Well, there should be 2.
Here's
do you know the second one? The second unanimous should have been
Jeter?
No, I'm kidding.
No,
Jeter only missed
Griffey.
1 vote.
Griffey.
Thank you. That's my captain right there. That's Griffey. Yeah, the best baseball player that's ever stepped on a field. We'll get to that with the baseball conversations, but
I'll argue that. I'll argue that with. I mean, he's my favorite baseball player of all time as well. But I can make the argument for that as well.
We'll get to that with baseball. But Dustin, I think you're getting ready to say something.
Same biscuit.
But yeah, Jeter should not be a
unanimous. So just an Emmanuel Clase stat.
Yeah, go ahead.
Just an Emmanuel Clase stat. 74 innings pitched in the regular season, 5 earned runs. 8 innings pitched in the postseason, 8 earned runs.
9 ERA.
Yeah,
9.
So just gave up 12 hits in 8 innings. Whereas in the regular season in 74 innings, he only gave up 35 hits.
Dustin, while you have it up, how many home runs did he give up in the regular season, and how many home runs did he give up in the playoffs?
That I don't know, but I can find out quickly.
I think he gave up 6 home runs in the regular season and 3 maybe in the playoffs.
I'd be surprised if he gave up 6 during the regular season, to be honest.
Yeah, no shit.
It's between 4 and 6, I believe.
All right. While Dustin's looking that up, so Mike, we have a segment called Hall of Fame or Not Hall of Fame. It's very simplistic. Brooks, go ahead. What do you got? You got Pete?
I'm going to use the restroom.
All right. I'll wait till you come back.
Well, if he's going to use the restroom, I might as well go real quick and be right back.
Go for it, baby. Woo!
We're live, guys. Come on. Hold your shit. Yeah, I can't find the home run stats. It's kind of frustrating right now. But
I'm just stunned. I'm stunned at how long. How he just completely melted down in the playoffs. It almost reminds me of Josh Hader a couple years ago with the Brewers when he was with the Brewers.
So he gave up. He's given up 3 home runs in 8 innings in the postseason and 74 innings in the regular season. He gave up 2 home runs.
Jesus.
So. Yeah,
pressure.
That's crazy. That guy was dominant. I think it was just one of those things where he got into the playoffs and he started melting down a little bit. There was 2 football games we didn't get to, so let's just touch on them really quick. Mm-hmm. Broncos Saints was last Thursday. Broncos dominated this game, 133-10. I don't believe we talked about this game, but Broncos defense looks real, and the Saints are a complete mess, especially with missing all their dudes. I think we were all flush, by the way, and we were correct.
Right,
yeah, dude.
And then the other game we didn't talk about was Seahawks-Falcons. Seahawks dominated this game from the beginning. They were in control the whole way. The Falcons offense didn't look very good. Geno looks excellent. He's got almost 2,000 yards already passing. DK Metcalf apparently has a sprain in his knee. He's week to week, so we'll be monitoring that. But the Seahawks look pretty good. Byron Murphy came back this week.
Good.
This was Dustin's
Byron Murphy missed a couple games. Yeah, Byron Murphy missed a couple games, and he came back this week, and he had a real impact. I don't think Bijan was able to be as successful as the Falcons were looking for him to be. Let's transfer into baseball because we've been talking about it a lot. Yeah. And Brian, let's start it off with your Hall of Fame segment.
All right, so we do the Hall of Fame segment. No, Mike, I know you're your first time on here, so this is a yes or no. All right, you don't got to give any stats, no explanations. I'm going to name names. You say yes or no. We're going to start with Brooks. We'll go to Mike, and then we'll go to Dustin, and then we'll just keep going around.
No explanations, just yes or no.
We're not going to go around the horn. You just have to say it.
Say it right away.
Just right away. Hear the name and hear it. Say the name right away, and then after the segment, we can talk about maybe 1 or 2.
There we go. Yeah. All right, thank you. Yeah.
For example,
here we go.
For example, if Brian says something and me and you go, or me and Mike go, and it gets to Dustin, we might influence Dustin. So it should be just
immediate response.
If you're a Hall of Famer, you know it. You know you're a Hall of Famer.
As soon as you ask, we say it.
Omar Vizquel.
Yes.
No.
Chase Utley.
Yes.
No.
No.
I'm a little biased on that.
Rafael Palmeiro.
No.
Yes.
No. Brooks.
I said yes.
Oh, my bad. Jim Edmonds.
Said yes.
Yes.
Yes. Ooh, that's a borderline.
No.
Gary Sheffield.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Bobby Abreu.
No.
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 Charlie Manuel.
Yes.
Yeah.
100%.
Got to.
Buck Showalter.
Yes.
Yes.
There you go. That's it. Hall of Fame segment. Bang. Over.
There you go.
So you got people calling
Jim
you.
Edmonds was the hardest one for me.
Jim Evans.
I love Jim Edmonds.
To me, was
I'm
he
a
was
big Jim Evans guy.
Amazing defensive guy. Could hit.
Another one I thought bringing up was Troy Gloss.
Yes.
Troy Gloss is a no for me, but love that guy. Big power.
Erstad.
JP says the Ravens are a wagon.
Jessica says JP Lacey is a wagon.
Yeah,
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah.
Congrats
let's
to
talk
JP
about the
Lacey.
World Series a little bit.
Yeah, let's talk baseball, boys.
Yeah,
Come on.
congrats to JP, by the way. Well, let's
Yeah,
first.
JP.
Congrats to JP Lacey. He got engaged. My buddy JP got engaged this weekend to his lovely fiancee Steph. So we're
awesome.
really happy for you, Jape. And also another thing before I forget, I'm going to a wedding this weekend. I will be in Baltimore Thursday and Friday for my buddy Paul and his lovely bride Ailish. So we will. I will see them, and congratulations to them as well. So I won't be able to talk about that. But congratulations to them. But yeah, let's talk some baseball, dude. Garrett Cole versus player to be named later is the starting pitching matchup in Game 1. What do we think about this series? What do we think about this series? I really hope that the Yankees lose all 4 games and Mookie Betts hits 800 home runs.
Mike, go ahead, man.
Yeah, thank you for letting me go first on this table. But
yeah,
no. Honestly, I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be a 4-3 kind of series. The Yankees lineup with it, Giancarlo hitting the way he's hitting right now, insane. So I think that if Juan Soto is going to show up, he always does. If Judge shows up at all, which he is not known for very well in the playoffs, if he shows up at all, it's Yankees 4-3.
Brooks, what do you got, man?
There you go. That's what Mike thinks. Brooks, what do you got?
I mean, I guess. I don't like either of these teams, to be honest with you. I'll be rooting for Tim Mesa. That's about it. But yeah, it's tough to go against all the talent that's in LA right now. It really is. But from what Mike said, like, was Stanton hitting the way he is, which out of his freaking mind.
Best in his career.
Yeah, and Judge just has to be half of what he was during the regular season.
Yep.
I agree with you. I think it's going to be a close series. I don't know which way it's going to go. I'd say talent-wise, it should go to LA, but it's going to be. I know New York's hot right now, but let's just. I don't know. It's going to be whoever gets hot in this series. I really don't know. I don't know who's going to win this series. I think it's going to be pretty evenly matched.
I think I hate to say this. I like the Yankees in this series with Giancarlo Stanton hitting how he is. He's an X factor, and with Freddie Freeman declining. That's not what I really want to see from the Dodgers. And I know they have a bunch of other stars on the talent. Some are on the come, some are on the decline, and I'll take the Yankees in this. I hope he does. But you can't take Game 6 off saying you need to fix your swing. And that's not very – and Freddie Freeman's a great human being, by the way, just a nice person and a great baseball player. But Giancarlo's going up,
one of the most
and Freddie's
consistent hitters.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But you know who's going up is Tommy Edman, switch hitter for the Los Angeles Dodgers, former St. Louis Cardinal, who absolutely went off last series.
Sounds like a pen sales.
Tommy Edman and all of those switch hitting utility players. I love them.
Mike, what do you got, dude?
Mike, what do you got? You got your finger
No, what I would go with is I agree with Brian. But my biggest thing about what the Dodgers have in store for them is that their secondary positions. So, yeah, we talked about Judge. We talked about Giancarlo as a DH, about Juan Soto. So, after that, where do you really have to go? Gleyber Torres, he's a strikeout candidate every single at bat. I mean, yes, he might do something great, but he's a strikeout candidate. To me, the Dodgers, the only thing I'm worried about with my prediction is the Dodgers have secondary players, like you said, Edmund. I mean, like things like players that you're not going to say are – they're not Shohei, they're not Mookie, they're not this, but they're ones that are going to put a major contribution to the game.
Michael Taylor.
So that's my only thing.
Lineup, I think.
Yeah,
the depth of the lineup for the Dodgers is definitely much better. We had Teoscar Hernandez and Will Smith and Tommy Edman, who showed up, and Max Muncy, who's been in the playoffs quite a bit. Kike Hernandez, who's had his share of great playoff moments. After the very top of the Yankees lineup, after Soto, Judge, Stanton, I don't have as much confidence in the guys like you mentioned, Gleyber Torres, Anthony Volpe, Austin Wells as a rookie. It's going to be tougher for them to manufacture runs outside of the top of their lineup. That's why I think LA is the better team, and that's why I think they'll end up winning this series, which is my prediction. The thing I'm worried about with the Dodgers is that we don't know who's pitching game one. Like, I can't imagine, like, if you're a Dodgers fan, you spend $1 billion on starting pitching in the offseason, and you know who's pitching game one in the World Series. Like,
it might be Shohei
who's pitching. Everyone's hurt. It's like, I don't know.
You never know, man. It might be Shohei.
If he went out there and shoved,
I'm joking. I'm joking. But it'd be funny if he did show up and shove.
I'm going Yankees in 6. Yankees in 6. That's my call.
Yeah. I'm going Dodgers. I'm going Dodgers in 6. I don't know. I can see it going either way, but I got Dodgers in 6.
Yeah, I'm thinking. Go ahead, Brooks.
I'm taking Dodgers as well. Just because same thing you guys said, just up and down the lineup. But I mean, this is going to be something that, like I said, like going into this series, somebody at the bottom of if somebody at the bottom of the lineup for the Yankees gets hot, I mean, they can easily win this series. And it could be anybody down there. So who knows, right? I mean, we see it every year. It's going to be somebody we would have never thought was going to get hot during a series.
Fucking Steve Pierce.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Jorge Soler.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and like bullpen for the Yankees seems like it was probably pretty taxed during that Cleveland series. I mean, they have had their moments, their clutch moments, but it's also, I mean, I say the bullpen for the Yankees with having we have a friend out there. He's also been a little bit shaky. He'll be the first one to tell you as well. But yeah, I just got to say, like, talent wise, on paper, it should be, I agree with you guys. It should be LA. I don't know how many games, but it should be LA.
I think. Look, if you're an LA fan, you got to be licking your chops, thinking of having potentially Mookie or Ohtani go up against Clay Holmes in a situation that matters. That guy is terrible, and he looks terrified to pitch. When especially in big moments, he looked terrified in the regular season at times. In the playoffs, he just looks completely outmatched. I do not trust that guy at all. That is one of the biggest pieces of this Yankee bullpen, and I would be terrified to throw him out there in a close game.
What?
So yeah, what I would say is, I think the bullpen having a huge impact, obviously. But the scared impact that Dustin just said, Clay Holmes looks scared every time he steps out of the mound. At least he has this postseason. I haven't watched it a whole bunch during the regular season because I'm a Nationals fan. And sorry guys. That's another terrible thing that I have to endure now. But no, watching him in the regular season, he looks nervous when he comes out there. Like I'm hoping that he gets his stuff together because do I want the Yankees to win? No, I'm not I'm not a Yankees fan. I'm not a Dodgers fan, but if they can pull it together, because I think their offense is going to be fine. I think they'll do okay. But if their bullpen can pull it together, like I said, I'm still staying 4-3. But I agree that Clay Holmes has to step up big time to make this work.
Yeah, I would say Clay during the regular season was similar to how Kimbrel was for the Orioles during the first half. He was up and down. His ups were very good. He had a couple downs that were everybody wanted to jump off a cliff over because he had a rough, I don't know, maybe week series to a week. But for the most part, it was good for the first half. The second half was different, obviously. But, I mean, he had a couple clutch times in this playoffs where he came in and it's just, but it's not somebody you trust, right?
No.
And they've been trusting Weaver, but then he gave. I mean, we saw that one game where it was just ridiculous, right? I mean, it seemed like whoever was up was getting a clutch hit. So
this is something we'll bring up to Tim a little bit later today if he is able to join. Is the pressure of the situation? Because like we just talked about Clase, or how do you say his name?
Yeah, Clase. Yeah.
I mean, he was lights out during the regular season. Then he got in the pressure situation and he completely buckled, and that stinks. And Joe, I believe, I like your call on Dodgers in 5. I just truly believe the Yankees are going to win in 6. So, I mean, I appreciate your opinion. I want to talk about something real high level for baseball, MLB. Baseball is a regional sport. It is very regional. It's very important to the teams that are around you in your city. This is baseball's best scenario. This is going to test the TV market on how baseball plays nationally, because you have 2 major markets in LA and New York. So you have eyeballs on both coasts. Let's see how it plays, and I hope baseball succeeds.
I agree. I mean, this was best case scenario for MLB and baseball in general, especially with Shohei in this and everything. It would have been better if Shohei's pitching. But, yeah, I mean, if this wasn't the best case scenario, second best case scenario would have been New York versus New York just because of the New York market. But that doesn't play nationally or across the country.
Yeah.
But, yeah, after the Yankees got into the World Series, it was they were in a win-win situation. But them versus LA is going to be – this is the best thing for baseball, as much as I hate to say it, but it is.
Mike, go ahead.
No, I just want to reiterate, Brian Brooks, I'm 100% on page with that. So, like, this is getting the Field of Dreams people into the game, right? Mm-hmm. The people that are in the middle of this don't really care, maybe. The middle of the country that doesn't necessarily want the Yankees and Dodgers to win. Like we've all said, basically, like, we don't care who wins this one. We just want it to be a good series is what it sounds like you guys are saying. And that's how I feel. I just want it to be a good series. Let's see what happens. But I think this is the best thing for baseball. I think the Subway Series would have been terrible for baseball. Yeah, they might have made a lot of money, but I think it would have been terrible for baseball to actually have a Subway Series that, for one, most people hate the Mets, unless you live in New York and on one half of New York. So I think I agree with both of you that this is probably the best situation we could have had.
Dustin, go ahead and comment on Joe's comment, because that's a really good part right there.
Yeah, I think this is a huge sorry, we're both trying to put the comment on the screen. Yeah, I think this is huge news for baseball, especially worldwide. I think Joe makes a great point here. The international market with all those the eyeballs overseas is going to be incredible. We're going to see numbers, I think, internationally that we probably haven't seen before, specifically because Shohei Ohtani is such a huge deal overseas. And I think I think he made a really, really good point. And I hope it's a good jumping off point for baseball to get back to at least gain a little bit ground back on some of the other major sports, because really it's been falling behind. And I think due to lack of stars, due to, just the way society is now, there's a lot of reasons. But yeah, I would love to see baseball make a little bit of a comeback. Brian, you had your hand up.
I might be in the minority here. I think baseball should take a victory lap this year. One, you have a great World Series. Unfortunately, the Orioles are not in it. But with the pitch clock, with the rules changes, I think there's been a lot of good things going on in baseball as opposed to the stagnant environment of baseball back in the day. There's movement in the game. There are bigger bases. You got steals. You have bunting now. You can't do the shift. I think baseball really should take a victory lap this year. Now, I might be in the minority, and everyone has their opinion, but without a doubt, this is the best baseball season I've seen in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, and to Joe's point here with the Otani stuff and getting the eyes in Asia, I think we've already seen, Dustin, you said it, the eyeballs. You said we're going to get the most eyeballs here that we've ever seen during this World Series. I think we've already had it in baseball here this year with Otani being in LA. I think you actually said the stat that like 80% of Asian people who visit California, LA or whatever it was, go to a Dodgers game while they're there.
That's crazy.
Which is
That's nuts.
And on top of that, I heard, and so I'm not very up to date on like the Asian up and coming prospects, but I was listening to Jeff Passan the other day, and we're kind of in the golden era for Asian baseball in a sense, because next year we have a guy coming,
Roki
Sasaki, who's throwing 22 years old. So he's young. He's already throwing 100 miles an hour. Obviously going to be a bidding war for him too. But apparently he's not overall as a player, but just a ridiculous pitcher, and his stuff apparently is amazing as well.
Brooks, about to interject, not to cut you off. Is that the guy that was at the World Baseball Classic that just decimated everybody?
Yes, I believe so. Yeah,
that's that guy.
Yes.
Okay, the six. He looks like Shohei with less hair and throws 102 miles an hour.
Lefty or righty?
Yeah, he's nasty.
He's right-handed.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. I just wanted to make sure that's who we were talking about, because I watched him every single game.
And I didn't realize he was coming this coming year, or whatever he is, a free agent. But however that works over there for them to come over here. This is the year. I guess next year is the year that he comes into the MLB.
Dodgers.
Yeah, another guy to look out for, Munetaka Murakami. I think this is how you pronounce it. 24 years old. 2 years ago, as a 22-year-old, hit 56 home runs in 140 games in Japan. In the last 2 years since, he's hit 31 and 33. He's a third baseman, first baseman, left-handed hitter. He's going to get a big contract from somebody this offseason as well. That guy's a stud.
That was the first thing I was going to ask, is the lefty that dominated for Japan. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. That's the same guy. Yep.
Yeah, and the guy for the Red Sox this year, I mean, he's a little undersized, but I mean, the guy can hit. Yeah. That's for sure.
Yeah, and then Shoto Imanaga for the Cubs was like 10-1 to start his career. He was sick. Yeah.
So what's you guys feeling on the what's his name for the Dodgers? He got rocked the first couple starts.
Yamamoto or something like that.
Yamamoto.
Yeah. He had a rough start, but what are you guys thinking his future might look like?
Just haven't seen a ton of him, really. Like, he got hurt early in the year, came back late. So I don't really take a ton of stock into this season as a whole. I think next season will be really telling on what kind of a player he is, if he's able to stay healthy and put up some numbers.
Culture change comes into this a ton. Like, he has to be.
I saw, I mean, everything you watched from him in Japan, his stuff was like, you would see Hideki Matsui, you would see everybody that you watch, Hugh Darvish, like everybody's stuff. So I'm thinking he's going to be really good, but I think he got a little bit of a late start because America is a little different. I mean, we have everybody here plays, right?
There's
so we
got
have
to be a feeling out period too for that.
There's the whole world comes here to play baseball. It's not like Japan. It's, if you watch Japanese baseball, it's mostly Japanese guys playing. You have a couple different people in there, but America, it's everybody. Everybody comes here: Dominicans, Puerto Ricans, Cubans, Americans, Japanese. I mean, we have the whole spectrum, and I think that makes the MLB a little bit different. And his stuff looks as good as I've ever seen come over here. So I think he's going to do well. I think he just kind of maybe rushed into it a little bit and didn't do that well, and then got hurt. So it just made it look like it was worse than it was going to be. But
no one could be Hideki Arabu. The fat toad, is George Steinberg called. Do we want to do our draft, boys?
Yeah, I think let's wrap it up. We're going on 2 hours here, so let's get to our final segment of the day, which is our snake draft. Today's snake draft is best cartoon characters. We have eliminated characters such as Mario and Luigi because they're originally video game characters. And at some point, we will probably be doing a video game character draft because we're going to be doing drafts forever and we're going to run out of stuff to talk about. So we're going to do best cartoon characters. These are going to be movies and TV shows, probably mostly TV shows. Brian is hot. He has won, I believe, three in a row. Three in a row. Beat me by 1 vote this week.
It is hot.
Can I ask one question?
Sure.
So when we say our nomination, are we supposed to give like a pitch for him or just say a nomination?
If you want to.
No,
Oh, no, that's fine. Trust me, I don't want to. I don't like talking anymore.
It's just a snake draft style. So the way I have it set up is it's Brian, me, and then Brooks, and then Mike, and you'll go last. So you'll get the wraparound. You'll get 2 picks. And you just pick your favorite. And if you want to give a little blurb about why they're your favorite, you can. Maybe we'll have a little discussion about how we're going to go or who we're going to talk about here. But plenty of cartoon characters, and we're probably going to hit a lot of Looney Tunes, I would imagine.
And and then we have honorable mention at the end. All right, with the first pick overall, I'm going to go with Bart Simpson.
Bart Simpson, not Homer?
Nope.
Wow.
Eat my shorts, dude.
I think this is going to be pretty easy for me. First overall, I'm going to take Eric Cartman.
Damn, come on now.
That was our other pick.
I'm sorry, I had to. Brooksy?
My first overall pick is going to be Peter Griffin.
Good call.
That's a good one.
I drink 57 beers off the line, and I'm the asshole.
That was good. That was a good one.
Well done.
That's good. So thank you, Dustin, for taking my first pick. So while I move forward, I'm completely blank right now. But I'm not blank. I just don't know who else I can compare to Cartman because that's my number one pick. I'm gonna go with might be a surprise, but Towley. And Towley, I think if you think about Towley, if you think about it and you remember the episodes, all right, he has a little more weight than you think. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say.
Fair enough.
I like it.
There you go. All right, you get actually 2 picks here because you're on the wraparound of the snake draft.
Yeah, that's not good. Going back to back. Brian never told me it was a back-to-back snake pick. All right, so
yeah, dude.
I would have to say animated.
So many.
I have to stay with South Park because that was my thing growing up, man. Like from 11 years old, that was my thing. Mr. Mackey.
All right, yeah.
Oh, that's a great call.
Yeah, Mr. Mackey.
You're going with some heavy hitting side characters in South Park, which I am a very big fan of.
Yeah, huge fan of South Park. Yeah. So I'm gonna have to stick with my South Park guys, Towley and Mackey.
Mr. Mackey. All right, Brooks.
I'm gonna not do my actual number 2 pick because I think it's gonna be around for another round or 2. But I'm gonna go Patrick Starr.
Fuck. God damn it. That was my
damn it. Great job.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah, that's a strong one. That was going to be my next pick.
How's it feel, Dustin?
Talk that shit. I love it.
All right, give me Bugs Bunny. He's lasted too long. He's been on the board too long. I'm gonna take him. Just best player available.
Yo, if there's a board, somebody needs to send it to me because I had no idea there was a board.
He's best player available.
I got 2 picks. I'm going Fred Flintstone.
Fred Flintstone's a good answer.
And I'm going Mr. Hanky Poo.
That's a good one.
Hanky the Christmas Poo.
That's a good one.
Fred Flintstone and Mr. Hanky the Christmas Poo.
I gotta pee real quick.
Okay. In the middle of our draft.
Dude, Brian only made it seem like it was 1 round. So how many rounds is this? So
no, we do 5 picks each. 5 picks each.
All right. I got a couple more.
Okay, I guess I'm next. I think the best character in South Park, other than Eric Cartman, is Randy Marsh. So I'm going to take Randy Marsh. He is absolutely hilarious, especially in the recent seasons.
That's pretty good.
I'm going to take him.
That's
Brooks?
pretty good.
All right, I'm going to gonna keep waiting this one out. I think he's gonna keep dropping. Give me Tommy Pickles.
Tommy Pickles.
Ooh.
That's such a good answer. I think a lot of people would have gone with Chucky Finster there, but you stuck with your guns.
Yeah,
I like Tommy Pickles.
Fair. He was the star though.
Mike, you get 2 in a row here.
Well, I think I'm going to use mine as a combo. I think I'm going to go Ren and Stimpy. As
Ooh.
Ren and Stimpy.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna
And
go
Wow,
Stimpy.
look
And
at that.
yeah.
Strong,
I think I'm gonna go both.
strong
And
move there.
shout out to my dad for texting me that because he's watching right now and shot me that out there. So shout out to my dad, James Wallace,
Hell yeah.
for hitting me
That
with
was
the
great.
ball.
That's a strong move.
Sorry,
there.
guys. So that
He
was
takes
great,
Ren
but-
and Stimpy. That's great.
Yeah, he said
Brooks?
Ren and Stimpy.
Who went off before? I was peeing. Before Ren
I-
Stimpy.
I picked Randy Marsh, number 3, for my
Yeah.
number 3 pick, and Brooks picked Tommy Pickles from Rugrats.
Tommy
And my
Pickles
dad said,
great.
"Hey guys, by the way, just in case."
Oh, your dad's
What's up?
amazing. Your dad is amazing.
He just said,
What's
"Hey."
up, Mike
He's been
Wallace?
watching the whole time. I got 30,
Tom.
40 people watching right now. So yeah,
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, dude. Thank you.
no problem.
Brooks, your next pick.
This is probably this is for me. This isn't for anybody. Sterling Archer.
Ooh, no,
that's-
that's huge.
That's great.
Wow.
That's a great
That
pick.
is
I
amazing.
completely forgot
He
about
would-
that show.
He would be my number 1 overall pick, but I just kept putting him off because I didn't think anybody was going to take him.
I
Benoit-
totally
Benoit
forgot
balls.
about him. God, that's
Benoit balls.
that guy is.
No.
Yeah,
No.
that's one of the better
Benoit
underrated cartoons.
Benoit balls. Yeah, no, that's
You're
amazing.
taking the Ambiguous Gay duo or something with the power crystals.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go best player available again, and I'm gonna take Scooby Doo.
Yep, there you go. That's called.
So
It's,
Dustin's going to end up winning.
Too long.
He's taking
Yeah,
the.
because I have the best team.
I'm on a heater, dude. I'm on a heater.
All right, finish your draft off. You get 2 in a row.
I get 2 in a row. I'm gonna go Marvin the Martian,
Oh,
Love
I'm
that
going
guy. He was.
and I'm
he
going
was on my
Snoop.
list. Snoopy.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. No Woodstock love from Brian there. Wow, I have so many ways to go here.
I know.
So many ways to go.
Y'all looking it up? I'm going blind.
No, I have a list of names written down here.
I got it written down here.
I mean,
Oh, you sons of bitches!
nobody's taken SpongeBob, but I just
I'll do
feel
next
like
time.
I'm not
I know.
taking SpongeBob.
Oh,
Okay, I'm just gonna go because I'm just gonna go with this guy because I love him. Wile E. Coyote is gonna
Yeah,
be my
baby.
last pick.
That's a good one.
Uh,
That's a good one. You
the,
didn't take mine this time, so I'm happy.
Yeah, he's my guy. Brooks, what's your last
broke
one?
it up.
I mean, I gotta go Stewie. Nobody's
That's a
taking
good one.
Stewie yet.
Dewey Griffin. Fair
Yeah,
enough.
I got 2.
It's 2 Family Guy guys.
2 from the same. Yeah, I guess you got 2 from.
Yeah, I got 2
Couple
South Parkers. We were
All right.
always going to have that. You get one more pick to finish our draft off. Mr. Mike Wallace, who you got?
Mr. Wallace.
Hopefully, no one's picked him, but Johnny Bravo.
Johnny Bravo was
Johnny
was
Bravo.
really close for me. Johnny Bravo is excellent. Dude,
Yeah.
monkey
Excellent
with me.
choice.
Not gonna lie, my
Excellent
dad
choice.
sent me that one too.
We gotta get your dad on here, man. Give us a butthead
Famous
show,
kid.
man.
yeah, I mean, he's doing better than I am, dude.
I didn't watch a ton of. I mean, I watched Beavis and Butthead, but they weren't my favorite growing up. So I
Yeah,
couldn't
They
watch
were
them.
funny at times, but
Yeah.
So
not a favorite.
I'll go through a couple of my honorable mentions. I'll just
Yeah,
list a
let's
couple
do 3
because
honorable
everybody-
mentions at a time.
Okay.
My 3, I'll pick Popeye the Sailor Man. I'll pick Charlie Brown and SpongeBob.
I'm gonna go Homer Simpson, Yosemite Sam,
Yeah.
Foghorn Leghorn.
Yes,
Strong.
man.
I say.
Foghorn Leghorn. That's awesome. All right, I'll go. Give me Squidward.
Squidward tennis balls.
I mean, I'll say SpongeBob. Even Dustin already said it at some point, but he was definitely on my board.
Yeah.
And then probably Daffy Duck. He was
Yeah.
funny. He's funny.
That's Daffy Duck's the female.
No, it's not.
Donald Duck seed.
Yeah.
Daffy's a female?
Yeah, that she has the pink bow on her head, I think, right?
Donald Duck and Daffy Duck. So Donald Duck is a male.
Daffy Duck's not a
No.
I think Daphne Duck is a female.
That's Daffy. Daffy, not Daphne.
Oh, Daffy. Like the
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Not,
Like,
I thought
Daffy.
Brian,
it's
I'm
duck
on your
season,
side.
rabbit season,
I'm out.
duck season, rabbit season. Daffy.
Brian, I'm on your side. I thought I heard Daphne Duck.
It's all good, dude.
All right.
Um,
So I got. Are y'all good? Everybody
Yeah,
good?
Go for it.
Start ripping them off, dude.
I got Kenny from South Park because, come on, was he not
Yeah.
one of the biggest people in the episode?
Yeah.
I got
Daisy Duck is a
Shaggy
female.
from Scooby Doo.
Daisy Duck was a female. There you go, Joe. Thank you, Joe.
Daisy.
Daisy Duck.
Shaggy's a good one. He was on my list as well.
Shaggy's
Hank Hill.
pretty good.
Hank Hill crushes.
No, I would go Boomhauer. I
Yeah,
think he's
Boomhauer's
more
good,
memorable,
yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
Everybody remembers
Joe
Boomhauer.
Joe had that too.
Oh shit! I didn't see that. Nice.
Well, no, you can't see it, but this one of the comments. Joe was
Yeah.
giving one of his picks as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw it. It was Boomhauer.
Yeah.
Roadrunner, Tasmanian Devil, Yogi Bear.
Cat Dog, Tom, and Jerry.
Ooh, Elmer
Garfield.
Fudd, Roadrunner, and Woody the Woodpecker.
Oh, Woody the Woodpecker.
Man, we're going hard.
Clifford the
Sylvester
Blue-
the Skunk.
Yes.
Oh,
nice.
Pepe Le Pew.
He's canceled these days, dude.
Pepe Le Pew,
Yeah, whatever his name is. Whatever his name is.
Clifford the Big Red Dog.
Oh yeah, he's good.
That's a good one. I don't know if it was a cartoon. I mean,
Ash
I remember the
Ketchum.
cartoon.
Can I say him?
Yeah, Pikachu.
Patty Mayonnaise.
Ooh,
Oh,
Doug
Doug
Funny.
Funny?
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
How do we forget?
Earthworm Jim.
Okay,
I think there was a.
While we're talking about Doug Funny, can I ask you guys a trivia question because I love this trivia question? Do
Fire
you guys
away.
remember Doug's dog's name?
Sparky.
Nope.
Ted.
Nope.
No, but you've asked me this before, and I can't remember what the answer.
Does it start with an S?
It does not.
Okay, I'm way off.
His name was Pork Chop,
Yeah.
and
Damn
it's
it.
still one of the best dog names ever.
Yeah.
I
You
love
can't
it.
remember your social security number, but you can remember the dog in Doug Funny.
I don't know why I know it, but I do. I have just a well of useless knowledge in this brain.
That's funny.
Just a
All right,
lot.
boys, let's wrap this up. We're in 2
All right,
hours.
yeah,
I'm going to
we're
go
at 2
jump out.
hours.
Mike,
Yes.
thank you for coming on, my man. Dude,
Yeah.
this has been fun. You got to meet Dusty and Brooks. Thank you for joining Gary Williams, Talking About Lawn Furniture. I say the same thing every time when we end. The best part about this podcast is I get to talk to my friends, and it helps me out. Mental health. You guys take care of yourself. I love all you guys. Mike, you've been phenomenal. You reached out. I appreciate you very much. These two boys right here on the screen with you.
All right, my turn. Do I get a second?
Yeah, go ahead. Send off.
Yeah.
Hey, I'd like to appreciate to thank you guys. I appreciate you guys letting me on here. I mean, this has been awesome. Like I asked Brian, I was scared shitless. Like I didn't want to do this. I've never been in a public setting like this. But I would like to reach out about Brian's statement last week. I know.
Don't make me cry. Don't make me cry, man. Come on.
Nah. I know. I'm trying to keep it good. I know what he said. He literally texted me and said, "Hey man, I just name dropped you," and I watched it. And that's something that's it's a real story. So when I was a freshman, I was not allowed to practice with Randolph-Macon. So my grades weren't good enough in high school, even though I had a really good SAT. I didn't care about school, just cared about being on the baseball field. So that's all I cared about. So Randolph-Macon took me in. I just couldn't practice in the fall semester. I had to prove that I can get a good GPA. So I did that, but I ended up with like a 3.1 freshman fall. But I ran my mouth, and I'm not gonna lie, I ran my mouth because I felt inferior to everybody because I couldn't practice. Brian called me that one day and he said, "Hey man, come to the frat. Come here real quick. Let's hang out." I was like, "All right." Thought it was weird. A senior wanting to hang out with a freshman. But he pulled me in and he basically said, "I think I have more verbatim than what he did when he said it last week." But he said, "Hey man, shut your mouth. We all know you're good and you're going to help out. So just be quiet and do what you're going to do." And I said, "Okay, yes, sir. That's what I'm doing." And from then on out, that's what I did. And he was kind of like my big brother for a few years. So means a lot to let me come on here, but I really appreciate Brian, and I appreciate you guys for letting me on here.
Thank
Yeah,
you,
man.
Mike.
Hey,
Thank you,
dude,
buddy.
thank you for sharing
man.
that, and thanks
Thanks for coming on, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
We say it every week, sharing stuff like that, and Brian reaching out and doing that kind of thing. It really, really helps. It helps people. It helps people understand that they can come out and talk to whoever they want to. And if you're having problems, talk to your friends. Tell them stories, and you think of something good. You think of something awesome. You haven't talked to somebody in a couple years, and you think about them. Send them a text message. Say, "Hey, dude, I love you. I miss you."
Yeah, man. We live hundreds of miles away from each other. I live in Indiana now. Brian's in Canton, Baltimore. Dustin's in Ocean City, and Mike's down in Virginia Beach. So, just small things like this. Just start talking. Start bullshitting about sports. I mean, who gives a shit? Like this.
Who
This
gives a
is
shit?
I mean, it's like we're all sitting at a bar right now having a beer. Let's just talk about sports, and it gives you a little mental vacation for a little while. So.
Yeah.
That's kind of the goal with this whole thing. One of the reasons why we started the show.
Yeah.
Talk about sports. We enjoy it. We all kind of moved away, so this was a way for us to be at the bar again. Really, have a beer and let's bullshit about sports and have a little happy hour together. Have a little mental vacation. So,
Michael, thank you for the kind words. And Christian, is it Christina or Christian or whoever?
Christian.
Christian, my nephew.
Yeah. Dude, thank you. It's awesome. Antonio, Capolo, the people that watch, thank you. We suck at this, but damn it, we have a great freaking time. And I am the machine, Joe.
Yeah.
Joe, if you're still watching, send me a DM on some platform or the show DM a platform. We need your address.
Yeah, Joe, we got to get you some stuff, man. I got a ton of koozies right here. I mean, we got to get stuff out to you.
Hell yeah. One last shout out to Paul and Ailish. Congratulations. You guys are getting married this weekend. I can't wait to go to the wedding. It's going to be awesome. Congratulations again to my buddy JP for getting engaged over the course of this weekend. Love you, buddy. Wish you and Steph all the best in your future. And I'll see you at your wedding down the road, I'm sure. And if you guys don't have anything else, thanks you guys for watching. One
last announcement: we got Tim Meza, one of the relievers for the Yankees, coming on either this evening or tomorrow. We're still working that out with his schedule and his practice schedule right now. We're also trying to work that out with Ryan Ripken. If you follow the Ryan Ripken show, follow those guys. They're a bunch of good dudes.
Ryan Ripken's killer, and then Kevin and Zach.
Yeah,
they're awesome. They're awesome.
Both those shows, follow them. They give us a ton of support. They're awesome guys over there. So between that and one last shout out, I'm going to do this on every show and leading up to it. We are getting together in person again the beginning of November. I believe the show is actually going to be on November 8th.
November 8th.
The morning of November 8th, we are going to be at the Chesapeake Wine Company in Canton, where the Canton Can Company is. We're going to be in the store there, live from there. So looking forward to it. If you watch the show and you're around, stop by. I'll remind you at the end of every show. So I just want to give them a shout out for hosting us as well. So Mike, go ahead.
I just got one thing. I told Brian about this earlier. So if you guys are okay with it, I'm going to try to get Jackie Bradley Jr. on here. Friend played against him. Friend from growing up a little bit. His mom used to work for my dad, and him and I have had a lot of baseball talk. So I'd like to get him on here because I think his feedback would be pretty good for you.
That'd be great. Yeah. Talk about whatever we want baseball wise. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, that
so
would be awesome.
I'll let Brian know about it, and then we'll see what we can do.
That'd be awesome. Awesome. And you were bringing up Russell Wilson earlier, Dustin. I don't know. Do you know Sean Bertrand, Brian?
I know the name. I don't remember a name face.
Sean Bertrand gave up a nuke to Russell Wilson while he was still at NC State. And every time I think of him at NC State, I think of that just because I love remembering Sean Bertrand giving up nukes. So awesome. Watching the show. Shout out to you, buddy.
Hey, guys, this has been fun as hell. Mike, I'm so glad you got to join us. Brooksy, keep me in touch with Tim Mesa today or tomorrow.
Yeah,
either one's good. And then, guys, just thank you, and I love all you guys. All right.
Hey, I really appreciate it, fellas. It was a great experience, man. If you guys ever want me back, I'm back. So thank you very much.
We need more Braveheart shit in the background. We need more Willie Wallace.
Yeah, no, I got you. But yeah, I really appreciate it, fellas. This is such a good thing to do, and I felt good talking. So.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, man.
Sweet. Thanks, Mike. Thanks
for
boys. And thank you guys for watching.
You guys either tonight or tomorrow. We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. Love you guys. Be good.
All right. See you.
Dude.